Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to a brand new live stream. I'm your host, Frank Ireland, and today we're doing one of those tier things. And I asked people, what would you be interested in? I got some. So I went to the tier list and I just typed in movies. And the generic one that popped up was, the 650 movies. And I was like, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do that. Let's do that. But before I get to that, I just wanted to say that this weekend I did find some cool things, but I'll save that for next week because, like I said, there's going to be 650 movies on this tier list. Um, and it's like a good tiering. And then I added like maybe one or two at the bottom, different categories because I feel like those are important in this ranking thing. But before I start, I want to create a timer. I'm going to do 2 hours. So if anything happens, if I go over, I don't want to go over 2 hours, so I want to keep it to that. Hopefully, I finish in less than that, but I want to time it out. Another thing I want to say is another update is that I am prepared. I think I'm mostly prepared for Nickel City Con. I know it's like a month away, but I'm mostly prepared for Nickel City Con. I just acquired the Scream, not Scream, oh my God. I acquired the Scary Movie poster from eBay. I won the bid. That's on its way. I have the ice hook that the Ghostface uses. I have the Ghostface mask, not the "What's Up" mask, but the happy mask from the poster when he's eating the popcorn. I have that mask, and I want to do a photo op with Shannon Elizabeth. Yes, that's great. No, Shane, no. Shane just said, "Don't be shy. Go for 4 hours." No, I would go for 4 hours if I started at 6, but since I didn't know how the day was going to work out, I started at 7. Let's keep this to a tight 2 hours. So that being said, let's get the thing on the screen. There's the tier list, and I'm starting the 2 hour timer now. Alrighty, so let's go through this. So the whole reason why I was inspired to do the tier list is because Neil deGrasse Tyson has this YouTube channel called like Star Talk Plus, and it's like his backup channel because his main channel, I guess, is just for his podcasts or whatever specials, and his backup channel is like all the extra stuff that wouldn't go on the main channel. So I like how he started the timer already, so this is included. I just realized that. So anyway, Neil deGrasse Tyson did a tier list on all these sci-fi movies. So I was inspired by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and for those who don't know, the whole thumbnail of this video completely ripped off from Neil deGrasse Tyson. So I just want to shout out to the greatest Neil deGrasse Tyson for this tier list. And before I start, I did see like 3 comments pop up. It's all coming together. Yes. Okay. So starting first, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm going to drag that to don't let's see, Never Again. That's an F. Ant-Man and the Wasp is an F. I remember watching that movie and just thinking to myself that the movie stopped for improv. I remember there's a scene where I got so pissed off at the screen. I think I even said it. And I'm like, "Come on, guys, get back on track," because they're all improving about a stupid table in their office. Meanwhile, the most important technology in the world of reforming and going up and down in sizes has been stolen, and they're talking about a stupid desk and they're improving. Never again. Never again. Not only that, but they wasted Walton Goggins on some nothing character that in the MCU. Another one we have here is Ant-Man Ultimatum. Let's see. Haven't seen, don't want to watch. Put that there. Not even going to waste my time even explaining why I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm sorry. I should probably have my comment. No, I can't see the comments on there. Damn, I'll pop in every once in a while to the comment section after a row, I guess. Well, when I get to internals, I'll check the comments. Ant-Man, the original one, haven't seen, don't want to see. Again, don't care. I don't care about Ant-Man. Let's see. Avengers: Age of Ultron. Let's see. I'm going to say mediocre. Oh yeah, I should read. I don't want to. I don't like the phrase mediocre. I noticed that when I was doing the test run, I was like, oh man, I don't like that. So I'm just going to write fair. It's fair. It's not terrible. It's fair. So, and that was, I think I used to have it on like, bad, but I'll just write fair. Let's see. I think this is Infinity War. I'll say it was good. It was good. I got no other explanation. It's just good. It's good. I'm just gonna go through these Marvel ones because these Marvel ones are basically all like kind of bland. Let's see. We're gonna go with was it Endgame? Endgame was good, and then Black Panther was fair. I'll say that one movie was fair because I remember everyone was overhyping it and I watched it. I was like, it's just another Marvel movie. It's just Marvel movie. And the reason why I say they're fair is because they're not quite forgettable and they're not quite good. Because to me, with this ranking, like the GOAT is like that's favorite movie of all time. Loved it. Loved it is pretty close to favorite movie of all time. It was good. It was good as like going to the movies and saying like, oh yeah, it was good. It was good. But like fair is like I watched it once, probably won't watch it again. But it's not bad where it's like haven't seen, don't want to watch. It's not that bad. We have the Black Panther 2, haven't seen, don't want to see. Have no interest. No interest in the sequel. Black Widow, I'm going to say, I almost want to say forgettable, but there's a lot of goofy shit in there that I do remember, so I can't say it's forgettable. So it's got to go fair. And Black Widow, the things that stand out to me that make it not forgettable is that there's a scene where the girl from Florence Pugh does this like comical like jump back from the explosion, and they're all falling from the sky and they're all like landing on things like no problem, and they're just normal human beings. They're not like Steve Rogers or anything, so it's like all craziness. And then like there's a scene where it's on the level of Die Hard 5. Not Die Hard, but Die Hard 5 specifically. So there's a scene where Black Widow's car explodes and then it rolls down the street and then it rolls down a flight of stairs and it ends up in a subway and it does a little spin and then the characters come out like nothing happened. Yeah, it's on the level of Die Hard 5. And there's a comical scene in Black Widow that I do remember is that Scarlett Johansson like jumps from like the top of a building and like hits everything on the way down. And like that's clearly shot by somebody else, like a second unit. And then the first unit, the person who's really directing the movie, films Scarlett Johansson just getting up from the ground, and it just cracks me up because it's completely two different things. It's like almost like John Wick level of hitting everything on the way down, and when she gets up, it's like, oh, I just fell off like a car, like nothing happened. So I can't say the movie's forgettable. It's just fair. Civil War. I'm gonna say never again. Like I don't need to see that again. Never, never again. I just remember being infuriated by it because it was so long, and then the ending and then just like Steve Rogers, and then like it's like I don't know. There's something about it where I just don't like it. I don't like the gray fight on the tarmac. Never again. Never again. Okay, here we go. This is kind of rare. We have Captain America: First Avenger. I'm gonna say I loved it. It's not the greatest of all time, but I loved it. I owned the Blu-ray and I loved it. And I've watched it a couple of times. I do like that. And I've not only that, but I'm infamous for using it for like a VHS trailer, so I do love it. And then I'm going to say Winter Soldier was good. It's not quite loved like First Avenger, but it was good. Because I don't think I've rewatched Winter Soldier since like 2015 or whenever the movies came out. Like, yeah, I haven't watched it since then. But that one is good. Winter Soldier's good. And of course, I'm famous for using it for Captain America, Winter Soldier. So it's like, eh. And then, but the first Avenger is pretty good. I think the only thing I have to say about the first Avenger that's like the thing I don't like about it is I remember being in the theater, and when Bucky died, I didn't give a fuck. I remember that, and I turned to my friend Alan. I'm like, "Are we supposed to care that he died?" And my friend Alan's like, "Yeah, I think he's supposed to come back. He's supposed to be like a Winter Soldier guy." I'm like, "Oh, okay," but it was so early on, and the way they did the movie because it's mostly montage. That movie, I think that's the reason why it gets away with being I loved it because it's just mostly visual and it's like all cutting to the great stuff. And it's like, it doesn't really do the character scenes that well because I remember, like, who cares that Bucky dies? I think only in retrospect it doesn't work. And when we get to it, there's another Marvel 2 movie that works in retrospect. But at the time, it didn't really click with me. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. It might be next for all I know. Nope, it's not. Okay, it's Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, here we go. We got Brie Larson here. I gotta say forgettable. It's forgettable. I really don't remember much that happens in it, even though I love the character of Captain Marvel. And there's like a scene where she's like shoeless. But other than that, I gotta say it's forgettable because I really don't remember the plot. I think there's like a V'ger thing, like Star Trek thing that they do with her name. I do remember that because at the end they realize, oh, it's not V'ger, it's Carol Danvers, which is hilarious. Now here's one that's good that I might say, oh my, it's on the verge of GOAT just because of one scene. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's go GOAT. The one is GOAT is Doctor Strange. That's movie I thought was going to be so average, which it kind of is. But like the way they go about, I think it's Benedict Cumberbatch's performance as Doctor Strange that really gets it for me. You know, because he's like an asshole, and then he learns to be good, but he's sort of still an ass, but he really wants to be good. I can relate to that. Like to me, that's like I feel like that's my life. But yeah, I relate to Doctor Strange in more ways than one. And then the thing that always gets me, the scene that always gets me, I'm like, this is my one of my favorite Marvel movies, is when Tilda Swinton is dying and she leaves her body and she makes her last moments last as long as they can, and they have that back and forth. I'm crying about it right now, but I love that scene. I love that scene. It's like one of my favorite Marvel scenes because she's just learning just to appreciate life for that one final moment while she's still alive before she dies, where she's seeing like the lightning and the rain come down and just absorbing it all before she dies, and then giving her last like lesson to Doctor Strange. You know, that's like one of the best moments ever, and I love that movie. That's why I got to put it to GOAT, because that to me is just really great. And it's shocking because, you know, I love Captain America First Avenger, but like this, like the little moments in Doctor Strange are really awesome. Even like the reverse time shit, I love that. That's so cool. Even though it's kind of average. Like the other thing I like about Doctor Strange is I almost compare it to like early Marvel days. Like that's like there's a lot of connection to like the Fantastic Four movies. Like, you know, that level of energy where it's like the mid 2000s and you're doing a movie. I feel like that's Doctor Strange, you know, and that really stands out to me. And I don't remember if there's any like world building in it, like, you know, Tony Stark and all that shit, but it's really good. I like Doctor Strange. So we'll get to that. And Doctor Strange 2. This is the one where I wasn't sold quite the first time. I gotta say, loved it. I was almost going to say it was good, but I loved it. And the reason the reason why I'm going to pick love it instead of it was good is because every time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Is when Sam Raimi goes full Evil Dead when he brings back the dead Doctor Strange, and he's like, and it even does like the Evil Dead shot of like Doctor Strange's eyes opening up to the corpse. It's so good. And then it does the thing I always wanted to see in a movie. Because my thing is, when I grew up, there's a scene in Monsters Inc. where they go through all the doors, and there's a scene in the Doctor Strange 2 where they go through all the different worlds. And I wish a movie would do that with movies. Like you're running through a movie to each movie. Oh man, it'd be so great. And Doctor Strange 2 does that. So there's great moments in there, right? And there's some bad moments in there too. Like I feel like, well, I thought it was bad at first, but then my rewatch, I thought, oh, that's brilliant, because I thought it was bad that they had like an alternate universe with like the Avengers and that. But the thing that makes it brilliant is that the filmmaker, you know, Sam Raimi, doesn't give a fuck about these characters, so he kills them right away. I love that. And I know it might upset people, like, oh no, Captain Carter dies, but it's like, great, good. Don't waste any more time on that. And then we have the Eternals, your eternal reward. I'm going to say kind of good. I was going to say fair, but I think it's above fair. Oop, did I even click on it? Hang on. Click on Eternals. Come on. There we go. I'm going to say kind of good. Kind of good for the reason that it's almost like I wish it was rated R and a TV series, because they could dive more into the details of the characters, because I like that all these characters are fucking horny. Like they're all horny. They all like each other. They all coupled up because they're the only ones who are immortal. So of course they all want each other. And I like that. And because it makes them human. It makes them human, of course, you know, or a little bit human because they're, you know, they're immortal people. But it's much better than like the sexlessness of the other Avenger movies, where it's almost like, I'm your best friend, like, you know, like they just tap each other on the shoulder. But like Eternals, actually, they have like relationships with each other, friendships over years, and they have like mistakes and like terrible mistakes, and you know they're not perfect. There's good ideas there, but like they squeeze it all into like 2.5 hours, and it's not enough time. That should have been like a mini series. That should have been like 9, 10 episodes on each character, and really dive into it. And it's basically Marvel's Watchmen. It literally is Watchmen, where you're wondering who killed the lead character, and at the end you find out it was one of them, and they did it for nefarious reasons, just like Watchmen. It's literally Watchmen, um, but in the Marvel universe, and it kind of works. It kind of works, but it's better than fair because I feel like they're actually trying ideas out in it, um, and there's some memorable things about it, but it's not quite good. It's kind of good, and it's better than fair. Okay, so like I promised, I'm gonna check the comments out now. Let's see that background. Though. Oh yeah, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's in the background. Or meh. First Avenger love, of course, of course. Brie Larson deserves her own tier. Oh Lord, yes. Doctor Strange is a surprising development. Yes, it really is. It like Doctor Strange is better than I think people give it credit for. It's that cucumber batch magic. Yes, I absolutely agree. Um, just letting you know, I can't see the comments, so like I have to go back to the other page. Just letting you know. So if you leave a comment, be a little specific. Like type the movie title and then your comment, because the way I'm talking about these movies take a little while. Take a little while. Okay, so the next time I'll check the comments will be when we hit Thor. I see that there at the end of the tier. Okay, so the next one on the list is Guardians 3. Guardians 3. Hopefully I clicked it. Yep, I did. I'm going to say GOAT. I'm going to say GOAT. Because I love these movies. They all kind of focus on different characters. In this one, they focus on Rocket Raccoon. And it gives his backstory, and it's a heartbreaking backstory. And you finally, like, you get a better understanding that this whole trilogy is him having another family, basically, and that his family cares about him, and that they're all at the lowest point of their lives, and at the end they all sort of find their way past their struggles and move forward, and it's so good. At least I think it's good. I think it's one of the best Marvel movies. There's a lot of great moments in there, of course, like the Rocket Raccoon flashbacks and all that. My personal favorite is that even though I'm tearing up for this now. Even though Star Lord is at his lowest and depressed and drunk, he still wants to save Rocket Raccoon. Like that is love, he's not like I don't give a fuck. He's like, no, I may be fucked up, but I gotta get past this and help my friend Rocket. That's one of the things I love, and I do love the comedy in it, even though it kind of downplays like the serious moments. Like this, like the most infamous one is where he Star Lord is talking to Nebula. Oh, not Nebula. He's talking to Gamora, and you think it's a private conversation, and it's not. Everyone's listening. I also love what do you call it? The Mantis in this and Drax. It's good shit. It's good shit. I love Guardians 3. I probably need to rewatch it, but for now it's GOAT. For now it's GOAT. Okay, Guardians 1. Guardians 1 is going to go. I loved it. Guardians 1, that really was like a turning point for Marvel. Good or bad, I kind of think, because I think Marvel learned the wrong lessons from Guardians of the Galaxy, where they started putting like needle drops in there. I think everyone learned the long lesson because we're still getting copycats of Guardians. Like right now, we have Borderlands that's coming out, and Borderlands is just like a poor man's Guardians of the Galaxy already. Borderlands seems like a fake trailer making fun of that kind of movie. That's how bad we've gotten. But I just feel like Marvel learned the wrong lessons from Guardians of the Galaxy. They think, oh, we got to put comedy in there every couple minutes. Oh, we got to put needle drops. And it's not the case at all. It's good, fun characters teaming up together on a simple adventure. Like in retrospect, it's like a very simple adventure. It's like they get caught and I don't know, there's like 3 locations, you know what I mean? It's not that much, but it's a good movie. And we call it Michael Rooker, of course. I know I'm tiny on the screen, but I got my Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker! Yeah, he's in it too. I think that's cool as well. Good shit. Good shit. So I'm going to say I loved it. Next one, Guardians 2. Guardians 2. Okay. So we're going to put that also. I loved it. But yeah, Guardians 2 is pretty good. I'm trying to think what happens in it. I think there's a little baby Groot. Oh, yeah, this is the one with Kurt Russell. Oh, shit. Yeah, this one's good. This one's good. I don't think it's GOAT, but it's pretty goddamn close. Like I always get emotional at the scene when like Drax is yelling at the top of his lungs and he's like, "Where's Quill?" And it's like a little hint of Rocket Raccoon's side where he's like, "I lost enough friends today." Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's good. Because you care about the character, so when those emotional things happen, it's like, "Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. That's good." So I'm gonna say loved it. Loved it. Okay, the first Iron Man. I'm going to say ah. Oh my god. I know it hurts. I'm going to say forgettable. Because I remember when it first came out, it was good, but it was like average. And like even in retrospect, it's so quaint. And I know it started the whole thing, but it's sort of forgettable. And again, this is like Iron Man is definitely in that era, like Fantastic Four era, where movies were still sort of simple and you didn't know you're going to get a sequel. But honestly, I think it's forgettable to me because it's one I'm not going to check out again. It's one that's just it's there. It's important, but it's there. I don't even want to say fair because fair would be like I don't know. Fair seems more of an insult than forgettable. Like forgettable, it's like I don't personally like it, but yeah, there's that. Let's see. What do we have here? What's next? Oh, this is the one I was talking about earlier. Like in retrospect, it works. So this one's going to go in fair. So Iron Man 2 is fair. When it first came out, I hated it. I hated Iron Man 2 because I was like, oh, it's building up for this and that and the other. Because at that point, I was so cynical thinking that it would never work. I'm like, there's no way you're going to make an Avengers movie. There's no way you're going to do this. But now that we're like, I think over 10 years past Iron Man 2, and after rewatching it a couple years ago, I was like, oh, geez, it works in retrospect. It's like, okay, this definitely is like a midpoint between that Fantastic Four era, Daredevil, Ben Affleck era, to the now where it's like you're setting up things. So in retrospect, it works because you know what comes after it. So it works that way. But when it first came out, I really did not enjoy Iron Man 2. But it's fair. I'm going to say it's fair. There's some elements in there that are fun, cool, but like it's fair. I can't deny that. Iron Man 3, another forgettable. I think I remember the theatrical experience more than Iron Man 3. Like, I really don't remember what happens in Iron Man 3. I do know that they rip off Batman Forever. Um, his house gets blown up. They waste, we call it Rebecca Ferguson. Not for Rebecca Ferguson. It's the other Rebecca. Oh, Lord. Oh, shit. Rebecca from King Kong. Am I even typing? Ah, damn. Oh, no. Did it freeze? Shit. Rebecca Hall? I don't know. One of the Rebeccas. They're King Kong Rebecca. I'm sure one of the guys out there is correcting me like, it's this Rebecca. But yeah, they wasted Rebecca in that movie. And she's a great actress, and she's like a non-character in that movie, and it sucks. And then they do the T-Rex save at the end. I don't know. It's fucking lame. And I remember, like, in like the first movie, they make a big deal that they can't take the thing out of his chest. And I believe at the end of the movie, they ended up taking the thing out of his chest. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is it over? And like, it really seemed like it was over. And I remember the advertisements really advertised like the dark chapter. This is the darkest chapter of Tony Stark. And it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was just like him crashing and sitting in a farm, I guess. I don't know. Forgettable. Shang-Chi. Let's see. I'm going to put as... Oh, let's go with forgettable. I'm sorry. I was going to say fair, but like the fairness of that movie gets overrun by the forgettable. Because like the first half of the movie plays like a great 90s movie where it's like he's a loser and then he ends up like being a cool guy and then it turns into a Marvel movie. And the point it turns into a Marvel movie is like when they're outside that building. I don't even remember why they're fighting, but they're outside this building on the bamboo thing. And like immediately after that, it turns into a Marvel movie. But everything before that seemed like a low budget, like 90s movie where this guy finds out like he's like from an ancient family and he has to fight and he didn't know he had these fighting powers. And it's like, ooh. But it's got to go with forgettable. I got to go with forgettable on Shang-Chi. It's almost fair, but I don't remember enough about it to make it better than that. Let's see. Next we have Far From Home. Haven't seen, don't want to watch. I don't care. I don't care about Tom Holland Spider-Man. I really don't. And then we have another one here. We have Homecoming again. Haven't seen, don't want to watch. I, he's dope. I think. Here's the thing. I like when actors act, and to me, Tom Holland is such a dope. I don't see him as acting. He's just Tom Holland, and he's a dope. Like I don't know. He's not acting. I think he's a dope. Okay, so we have the next one is No Way Home. And I don't understand why they stuck with the home thing. I think that's stupid. I'm going to say I loved it for No Way Home. All that Sam Raimi villain stuff is really good. It's just that first half an hour is unbearable when it sticks with the Tom Holland. And it basically erases the first two movies that you don't, it doesn't even matter. Those first two movies don't matter. All that matters is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And I kind of love that. Like, nope, Tom Holland, your movies are a waste of time. We erased them in the first half an hour. We're moving on. Okay, the first Avengers. I'm going to say kind of good because I don't want to say good because I don't own the movie and I haven't watched them recently. But Avengers was kind of good. At the time, I would say it was good, but over time, your taste changes. So I'm going to say kind of good, where it tells a story. It got everybody together. It did something I thought would never do, but over time, haven't rewatched it. I haven't had the urge to rewatch it, so I'm just going to say it's kind of good. I don't even want to say it's good because I think Winter Soldier is more like it's good, but Avengers is like it's kind of good. It's good. It's kind of good. So that's my two bits. And then we have Incredible Hulk. We're going to go with forgettable in this one. The poor Edward Norton movie. Like honestly, I think the only thing that stands out to me from the Edward Norton movie is the damn it, Betty, I have to try. And he's on the plane and he's falling and he's like, oh shit, and then he drops. I think that's it. And I do remember there's like Easter eggs to like some of the comic books because I used to read The Incredible Hulk. Believe it or not, I used to read comic books. So like in the early 2000s before it became like Planet Hulk, it was so funny too. So I would read the Hulk comics and then there was a time where the run ended and I thought, okay, I guess the Hulk's over. So I never picked up the book again. And immediately after that, it was all the crazy Marvel shit where they put Hulk on Planet Hulk, and I missed all that stuff. So everything before that, where it's like Hulk is on the run for being a fugitive, and it's like dark comics where he's like having like relationships with like weird women, and they end up dead, and he gets framed for like murder, and he's being chased by like this like CIA agent who doesn't die or some shit. It's like it's weird stuff. I think it's like the Bruce Jones run or whatever from like the early 2000s. It was like right when the Hulk 2003 came out. So I read that until like that line ended because it ended with like him running into the woods because everyone just lost trust in him. I was like, oh God, where's this gonna go? And then somebody else took over, and that's when they put him on like outer space. But yeah, I'm gonna say they did reference some of that Bruce Jones run. I think that's what it is, Bruce Jones, the writer or artist. I don't know, but yeah. Other than that, I think it's a forgettable movie. Oh my God, I really don't remember what the hell happens in the Incredible Hulk. I just remember the damn it, Betty, I gotta try. And then the other thing that stands out to me is that his heart rate starts going up when Betty is like making out with him. And like he's like, I can't do this, Betty. She's like, why? It's like she's gone for it. She wants it, but he can't do it. That's funny. That's funny to me. Okay, so the next one is The Marvels. Oh, The Marvels. Never again. Never again. I was going to say forgettable, but I don't think I'll ever check this out again. Never again. I do like that it was a tight story at the 30-minute mark and all that. It has like all those things, but like the story is so bland, it doesn't fucking matter. And I remember there's a scene where they all don't like each other, but like 2 seconds later they all make up. It's like, why? And then it broke the streak because there was something I wanted to happen in the movie, and that didn't happen. I know that's a Luke thing. I don't like doing the Luke thing, so let me explain the Luke thing. So, like, the Luke thing is if the movie doesn't do something I want. And it's like, no, don't fault the movie for that, because the movie is what the movie is. Don't fault the movie for something that you wanted. But I have to fault it for that. It broke the streak. It broke the Brie Larson streak, and I'll never forgive it for that. All right, next one is Thor. Crazy enough, I think I got to go say I loved it. The original Thor movie, loved it. I remember when this movie came out, none of my friends gave a shit about it, and then like the week of, we were all sold because this is when I lived in LA. So in LA, you'd see all these posters, those black and white posters of Thor. It was on the side of buses. It was at bus stops. It was on the side of the buildings. It was on your Dr. Pepper cans. And I remember that week, probably like Wednesday or Thursday, because I think we went to see it Thursday night. My friend Alan's like, "Hey, you want to see Thor?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And they're like, "Yeah, it's like a weird thing. Like, I want to go see Thor," and we both loved it. And it's one of those ones where it is rewatchable, and I like that in the early Marvel days, they let the director have their vision. So, like, the first Avenger is totally, oh god, I forgot his name. Something Johnson. He's this guy who did Jurassic Park 3. I know who he is. Like, it's something Johnson. Johnson had his vision for the first Avenger, and it's his movie. And then Thor is a Peter Rana movie, and he has like all the Dutch angles. There's definitely a vision to it, and I like that. And it's, again, this is the simple era where a sequel seemed like it wasn't guaranteed. Like, I guess they sort of had a plan, but they played it safe. So it's a good rewatchable movie because it has a beginning, middle, and end, and it doesn't feel like it's setting much up. Like, sure, there's elements that lead to other things, but all in all, it is a good standalone movie, and I like that. So Thor's good. Going back to the comments. Let's go back to the comments section. What do we got? What do we got? We have, I always had a soft spot for Iron Man 2. That's fair. That's fair. I just remember watching it and I just thought that, like, at the time, I thought it was a waste of time. But now in retrospect, like, yeah, it works. It works. Rebecca Hall. Yes, Rebecca Hall. I knew it was Rebecca something. Let's see what we have here. We only care about Maguire and Garfield Spider-Man. Dude, I love Garfield, but he was in the wrong fucking movies. It hurts me so much. He's a good Spider-Man, but it hurts me so much that he was in the... Well, the first one's okay. The first Amazing Spider-Man. And we'll get to it. I'm sure it's on the tier list, but yeah, I'll talk about those ones. Thor 1 is peak of the film series. For sure. For sure. First Avenger, Joe Johnson. That's it, Joe Johnson. Yes, yes. I knew his last name was Johnson. Let's see. Holland's films were dull that Dafoe had to come in and destroy them. Yeah, I always joked about that. I joked that Dafoe was like, "You guys are fucking it up. Let me show you how a real villain's done." And he basically stole that movie. Like, his performance as Green Goblin in that movie is way, way too good. Oh God, did it freeze? Oh, here we go. Okay, so the next time I'll check the comments is right after X-Men First Class. Okay, so next one we have Thor: Love and Thunder. What do we have? Never Again. Never Again. Don't even want to talk about it. It sucked. Even Chris Hemsworth says it sucked. They wasted Christian Bale. Love Thor and Thunder sucked. I was going through my old tweets, and there was a tweet that my mom said during one of the trailers for Thor and Love and Thunder. She said, "That's direct to DVD, right? That's not an actual theatrical movie." I'm like, "No, that's an actual theatrical movie." Thor Ragnarok. I'm gotta say, never again. Never again. Just because I remember watching it and I'm thinking, like, okay, so you lost your mom, and then you lost your father, and then you realize your father and family have been lying to you that you have a sister, and then all your friends are killed. Like, literally, all your friends from childhood are killed, and then your town gets destroyed, and you're doing it with a smile. And I'm like, this is your Die Hard with a vengeance. This is like your darkest fucking point. Like, I don't understand why it's comical. I understand maybe they do comedy to like balance the heaviness, but like this is the worst couple of days of Thor's life, and it's all jokey and smiley because he lost everything. He literally loses everything, and it's insane. So I understand why he's a fucking drunk fat guy in the other movies, because he's finally having that grief that happens in this movie, because it's fucking insane. He loses his mom and dad. He loses all his friends from childhood, and then he loses the place he grew up, his entire planet. What the fuck? And it's all with a smile. And I don't care if like you guys like it, because you guys can like it. We all have different opinions. If you like it, you like it. But like, I could not give a fuck about Thor Ragnarok, because that alone infuriates me, because I'm like, that's not realistic. There's no way you'd be happy and smiling, and meanwhile everyone you know is dead. Like, and it's not even like it happens later in the movie. No, it happens like right away. Like, all his friends from childhood are dead. His father dies. His mom has died in the other movie. So this guy is like the lowest place of his life, and he's like smiling. I don't understand. Like, maybe he's hiding the pain, but I don't buy it. I just think it's bad. Um, okay, we have Thor: The Dark World. I'm going to say fair. It's a fair movie. I don't want to say kind of good. It's fair. I don't have issues with it. Like, I can't complain about it. I do, like, right now I can't remember what the hell happens in it, but I know I don't qualify as quote unquote unforgettable, but like I don't have problems with it. It's fair. It goes with Iron Man 2, Black Widow, where it's like it's fair. It's like, I can go without it or I can go with it. Whatever. It's fair. Um next we have X-Men Phoenix. I'm going to say C. It's kind of good. And that's just because of the underlying theme. It's all about like drug use to me. How she gets like addiction and she wants to get clean, and then she has like bad outside forces who don't want her to get clean. I don't know. I just see it as addiction or like to drugs or alcohol or whatever. It's like the underlying themes win me over, and how at the end they have to strap her to a table just to get her, to sober up or whatever, quote unquote, sober up. But it's, to me, that's why I like it, just because of underlying themes. I really don't care about the cheesy, like low budget of it. I don't care about any of that. To me, the thing that outshines everything, because I remember watching the movie and just being thinking, oh wow, a movie can have underlying themes. Like, this hasn't happened in the superhero movie in a fucking long time. So for that alone, I give it a C. Kind of good. Yeah, but I liked it. I'm not going to say I hated it. I like that movie. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I don't know. It's kind of good. It's kind of good. I'll leave it at that. Deadpool. I've got to say fair. The first Deadpool is fair. Because I don't know. I think the strongest point of that movie is the part that was a remake of that scissor reel that was leaked. I think that's the strongest point of the movie. It's the most memorable thing of the movie. Because everything else I don't quite remember. I think isn't it like revenge for his dead girlfriend? I have no idea. I don't even remember. But I think the strongest point of the movie is the remake of that scissor reel. Deadpool 2. I didn't like the Aussie kid. I gotta say never again. Hang on. I dropped in the wrong section. I don't like that little Australian kid. I gotta say never again. Because I don't like, every time I want to rewatch it, I remember the Australian kid and then I don't want to rewatch it. Yeah, but there's things I do like about it. I do like how X-Force completely beefs it when they land on the ground. That's hilarious. But other than that, no. I didn't like the kid. I don't know. Like, because you have to, the problem with kids is like you can't have the whole movie like on their shoulders, and I feel like the whole movie rests on this kid's shoulders if you like him or not as a performer, and I thought he was kind of weak. Okay, we got Logan. Speaking of kids on their shoulders, Logan has a terrific kid actor. Holy smoke, she's fantastic. I don't remember her name. I think this is like the only. Like, she has like a foreign language, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm looking over here like somebody's over there. No one's over there, but I'm like, come on, yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like, she's like foreign or some shit. Yeah, Logan is GOAT. Logan is like one of the best superhero movies made in the last 20 years. It's the greatest, yeah. Enough said. I don't even know what else to talk about. It's great. It's awesome. Everyone who knows it's awesome knows it's awesome. So it's the GOAT. So there you go. There you go. Okay, next one is the Wolverine. Oh God, I gotta say forgettable because I think I've seen it. I keep joking this one as the one where he gets diabetes. I have. Let's see what happens in this one. So this one opens up where he's a POW in World War II, right? And then he saves the guy, and he gets like blown up from Oppenheimer because the bomb goes off. And then later on, like he gets like shot or something, and like he has diabetes where he can't see. He has like soft vision, and then he's like on a bullet train, and then he fights a guy in a robot suit, and then there's like a Venom woman who pulls her face apart. I don't care. I don't care. I'm exhausted. So Wolverine goes unforgettable. Let's see. X-Men Apocalypse. Oh God, I gotta say forgettable, right? It's forgettable, right? Because it's just trailer shots, if I recall correctly, right? Like they do the thing again where he runs to the house and it's like sweet dreams are made of these, but like the final fight is like all trailer shots. Am I wrong? Where it's like all these characters that you never seen in the movie before are not characters. They're just the people, like they're actors in costumes and they're in like cool hero shots. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments, because I think that's what happens in Apocalypse. Like Oscar Isaacs comes down to do like a bland, boring villain performance, and they have to fight in this gross like destroyed city. Like I think it's just like mush in the background. I don't know, and like they're all just doing like hero poses. It's very forgettable. It's again exhausted. I don't know what happens. Exhausted. Days of Future Past. I got to put this one up here. It's the goat because I do like this one. That's the one where they put Wolverine in the time thing and he goes back in time into the 70s. He's got the wood bones. They got Richard Nixon and it's a cartoon Richard Nixon. And it's so good. And you got Peter Dinklage and you got, oh my God, there's good stuff. There's good stuff here, Marcus. So that's the GOAT. X-Men, whatever. Pocket. What is that one called? I already forgot. Oh, Days of Future Past. That one's good. X-Men Wolverine Origins. I want to say kind of good just because I enjoy it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say kind of good because I enjoy it. It's the last remnants of that horrible era of the mid 2000s where they were hit or miss of superhero movies. I got to say it's kind of good. I can't say it's fair. I got to say it's kind of good just because I enjoy it. We have Tyler Gish in it or whatever, the Kinishkish, John Carter, that's his name. And then we have Proximus. I will learn. He plays the Blob. And then you got like T-Pain or whatever is in the movie. What's his name? Lil Wayne? Somebody's in the movie. They're good. And then you got Ryan Reynolds, who's a talker, and they cut off his mouth and they like sew it shut. It's perfect. And then you have that guy who does like all those movies. I forgot his name. I don't want to bash him, but he does all those movies. You're like, oh, it's that kind of movie. He plays Stryker in this. That guy. He's that kind of guy in those action movies where you're like, oh, it's that kind of movie where it's like it's low budget. They couldn't get a high caliber actor, so they got average villain man. Yes, the Stryker in this movie is average villain man. Okay, I think this is X-Men 2. So X-Men 2, even though I always, bash it, saying it's forgettable, I have to say, loved it. Because that opening scene in the White House fucking rules, and then you got Wolverine fighting in the house. And then what else happens in Wolverine 2? What happens in Wolverine 2? It's not even Wolverine 2, it's X-Men 2. That's so funny. Oh, yeah, that's right. They have to fight the Asian lady with the 10 thing. Yeah, this one's fine. This one's loved it. I'm going to give this one loved it. Even have his Van Helsing wig. I'm going to get X-Men 2 loved it. Okay, this one we have the original X-Men. X-Men was good. Do I say good or do I say loved it? I'm going to say good. Because there's some good practical effects in that movie. That's pretty goddamn good. It's a good movie. I don't want to say loved it because it's I don't know. Yeah, it's not on that level for me. It's good though. It's good. Solid B for me. Solid B. All right, and then we have X-Men First Class. Ooh, now I could finally talk about it. I can finally talk about X-Men First Class. I have to say fair. I remember when this movie came out, I thought it was so fucking lame. I thought it was so lame. I remember like that scene where it's so cheesy, where it's like, oh, we're all going to have names. You can be called this, you can be called that, you could be called this, and then the black guy dies first. I thought that was like the weakest thing ever. Oh, God, and it was so average. I don't know. It just looked like a cheap movie. It looked like, I don't know, like a TV movie. The strong parts in it were Michael Fassbender. I think I remember being excited about seeing Michael Fassbender in another movie. Because before this, I think he was mostly known from Inglourious Basterds. So when he was in this, it was like, ooh, Michael Fassbender's back. And he's badass in this movie. I think this is the one where he like throws the knife at the Nazi and then he stabs the Nazi back in the hand. It's so good. There's good things in it, but it's so fucking cheesy and lame. Ugh. All right. As promised, let's go back to the comments. Let's see. Thor: Love and Thunder and what? I don't know that movie. Exactly. Ignore it. Forget that movie. I didn't hate Love and Thunder, but it's probably because I could mute the goats at home. Oh, you watched it at home? Okay, yeah. I watched it in the theater and it sucked ass. Let's see. Ragnarok really ruined Thor for me. Yeah. I think everyone, again, wrong lessons were learned from Ragnarok. Yeah. The Dark World's fair. It's completely fair. I can't say it's terrible. And I can't say it's completely forgettable, but it's fair. It's a fair movie. I can't hate that movie. Remember when Cyclops dropped an F-bomb? I'm sure Kirk does. Oh, that's right. It's very awkward too. Like the guy doesn't know how to swear in real life. That's what I remember. That stands out. I do remember that, Captain Iron Dog. I prefer Deadpool over Deadpool 2. The sequel is a tad bit too comedic for me. Yes, I agree with that. I'll agree. Logan made me cry. It deserves the highest tiers for sure. I think it makes me cry every time. Every time I watch the movie. So if it makes me cry multiple times, it's the GOAT. Apocalypse is indeed just trailer shots. Okay. I prefer the road cut over Days of Future Past. I never saw the road cut. I should. Origins has the best haircut for Wolverine. I think Origins Wolverine is like peak Hugh Jackman. Like that is the peak. Like that is the way he should look in all the movies. And it's terrible. It's sad that it's for like the worst Wolverine movie. But like he's like in peak condition in Origins with the haircut and muscles and everything. It's like peak Hugh Jackman, but it's like for the worst movie. I feel bad for him. What did you expect? Yellow spandex? Oh, that's the line. I remember rewatching it recently, like the last couple of years, and I remember that line bothered the fuck out of me. I was like, oh my God, they didn't need to do that. But I think it's just because I'm so used to these stupid Marvel movies and that watching X-Men was a relief. So when they did a stupid joke like that, I was like, oh, no, no. But like in retro, like if you watched it at the time, I'm sure it was funny. But like to me, it's like, no, stop. I want to get away from that. I'm cheating on the MCU with you guys, and then you're doing those kind of jokes with me. Yes. But I like cheesy. Yeah, you can like cheesy bread. You can like cheesy bites. But I don't want that in my X-Men First Class. It's so fucking cheesy. Ugh. Okay, next time I'll check the comments is Spider-Man 3. So just remember to add the title when you're talking about the movie so I know what you're talking about because I'm rolling. I'm rolling. We have X-Men Last Stand. I know Luke doesn't like it. I think everyone doesn't like this movie, but I got to say I loved it. Loved it. Did I even pick it up? I don't think I did. Uh-oh. Click there. Ugh. Did it go? Oh, no. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm going to say loved it because it just, the thing that makes me love X-Men other than, because that's a different cheesy. I think it's camp. It's not cheesy, it's camp. I think X-Men 3 is camp. But one of the reasons why I love it, and I'll be honest on here, one of the reasons why I love it is because it's how I became friends with Anthony and Kirk. I remember at that time, I think they were doing like X-Men videos, or maybe Kirk did a commentary with Captain Logan or something. And I discovered their podcast, The Grund, and they would reference X-Men 3 a lot. And I knew they didn't like it. And Kirk did his series, What Did We Do? And he would always riff on X-Men 3. So it has a soft spot in my heart for my friends Kirk and Anthony. But other than that, the movie, it came at the time when X-Men 3 came out, all three of those movies were event movies. And it was at a time when movies were events. Nowadays, it's like, oh, I could watch it at home in 2 days. Back then, it was like an event. It was like, oh shit, there's another X-Men movie coming out. That's awesome. We all got to go see it. We all got to go see it together. We got to see it opening weekend so we can talk about it. But nowadays, it's like, I'll wait 2 days. I'll wait to Disney Plus. Movies were events, and that's another reason why I never really checked out the X-Men movies again. Because once you've seen them in the theater and it was an event and it was a shared experience and you talked it with everybody, there was no need to watch it again, or at least in my opinion, at that time. Because that's all three of those X-Men movies for me. That's why I always find like whenever people like say, hey, are those your favorite? Like, no, I never watched them at home. They were like experiences in the theater. It's like I went to the theater to check it out, you know? But yeah, that was like one of the last, or, you know, it's that mid-period before they all kind of got wiped out, those event movies. But yeah, that's my thoughts on X-Men 3. Fantastic Four stick. Haven't seen, don't want to watch. That's that reboot of Fantastic Four. Haven't seen, don't want to watch. Rise of the Silver Surfer. I always said there was only one movie I fell asleep in the theater to, and it was Rise of the Silver Surfer. But I take that back because I gotta say, I think I gotta put it with it was good. I rewatched it within the last couple of years, 2-3 years, and I remember really enjoying it. Like Rise of the Silver Surfer is pretty fucking good. Because like it's not, I don't want to say it's not too jokey because I know there's jokes in it, but it's definitely balanced. It's balanced between humor, the stakes are high. It's good. It's an enjoyable movie, and after watching so many MCU movies, it's almost like a breath of fresh air to check out Rise of Silver Surfer because it's like restrained. It's not over the top. So I got to say it was good. I don't even want to say kind of good because I think kind of good would be the first movie. The first Fantastic Four movie has got to get a C. Kind of good. So there's that. Ghost Rider, I gotta needs a rewatch. I'm sorry. I know I didn't hardly talk about Fantastic Four, the first one, but like honestly, it was kind of good. I got no more to say about that. It's kind of good. But like Ghost Rider, like I've watched it years ago. I've been wanting to rewatch it in the past couple of years. I remember really loving it when it first came out, and I haven't seen it in a long time. And I've been wanting to do like a Gargoyles fan trailer, and I want to use Eva Longoria as that cop. I forgot what her character's name is. Probably right. I don't know. Whatever the character's name is in Gargoyles, I want to use her as that cop, and I want to use some clips from Ghost Rider. But it needs a rewatch because I don't know if it's good. I don't want to know if it. I don't know if it's a Never Again. Because at the time when it came out, it was a huge movie. I remember Ghost Rider being huge at the time, and it's a simple movie, very simple. I think it's like beginning, middle, end, out in 90 minutes, probably 80 minutes. It's a simple movie, but needs a rewatch. Ghost Rider 2. Haven't watched, want to watch. I've never seen Ghost Rider 2, and it's from the guys who made Crank, so I'm interested, but I have no idea what it is. I don't know what it's, if I like it or not. I have not seen it. Blade. The original Blade. I think it needs a rewatch. I know it's good. I know the original Blade is good. I know it's freaking awesome. It's more of an action movie than a comic book movie, which I like. It's an actual movie, but it needs a rewatch because I have not seen that in probably 5+ years, maybe 10 years. Because I realized that freaking Fury Road I haven't seen in 9 years, and it's still like, it was still fresh, quote unquote, fresh in my mind. So like I don't know how long it's been since I watched Blade, but I feel like it needs a rewatch to really fully appreciate it. Same thing with Blade 2. Blade 2 thinks it needs a rewatch because I remember liking it. It's really good. I think dare I say it was better than the first movie. I think it is. But yeah, it needs a rewatch. Blade 3, haven't seen, don't want to watch. Can't waste my time. Don't want to waste my time. Morbius. I have to say forgettable, and the only reason why I'm saying forgettable because I saw Morbius twice in the theater. So I can't say never again because I saw it twice already. So I gotta say forgettable. Yeah, it's forgettable. It's stupid, but I got enjoyment out of it. I can't say it was good. I can't say it was great. I got enjoyment out of it. I'll probably see a sequel. I'm an idiot. Oh man, but I can't say never again because I saw it twice. Okay. Oh shit! Did I already reach the end? I don't even remember. Oh no, Spider-Man 3 was the end. Okay. So the first Spider-Man movie, obviously the goat of all time. Just rewatched those over Christmas. Those are fucking awesome. Spider-Man 1. And then, oops, what do we have here? They're not in order. Okay, we have Across the Spider-Verse. I actually created a new section for this movie. I created Depends on the Sequel. Because Across the Spider-Verse suffers from, we call it, from the Force Awakens syndrome, where the Force Awakens sets everything up, and you have to heavily depend on what comes afterwards. And I feel like that's what happened with Across the Spider-Verse, because Across the Spider-Verse has an Act 1 and Act 2, but there ain't no Act 3. So it depends on the next movie if this one works. Because if the next movie doesn't work, then it negates the second movie. That's how I see the sequel trilogy, because since Force Awakens is followed up with Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, that whole trilogy is negated because everything that was set up was not really paid off, and it's a bummer. But I want to like Across the Spider-Verse, but it really depends on that third movie. It really does, because this one don't have no third act. There ain't no third act. You got Act 1, you got Act 2, and it doesn't complete the story. It don't complete the story. All right, that's my opinion on it. We're moving on. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is the GOAT. It's the GOAT. Alfred Molina in that movie, fucking insane. Great performance. We got James Franco. I'm in charge here. It's my money and I want it now. There's good shit in this. There's a lot of good shit in that movie. Oh my gosh. And we have Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3, I still haven't rewatched it yet. It needs a rewatch. But yeah, I think I'll like it. All right, let's go to the comments. Oh, what's a bada bang, the bang, diggy, 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 bada boom. Let's see. Captain Iron Dog says taking cold showers and eating nothing but chicken. Man, that man has not had a proper meal. Hugh Jackman, I should say. Hugh Jackman has not had a proper meal in like 30 years. Bear with me. On my side, it's froze. I don't know if it's showing up on your end. There we go. Hugh taking cold showers and eating nothing but chicken. There you go. And then we have X3 gave us the Juggernaut. Oh, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Now, here's the thing, though, Captain Iron Dog. The I'm a Juggernaut, bitch. That line was from an internet video. That's the reference. There's an internet video where these guys did a dub on X-Men cartoon, the animated series, and it's like they make fun of the cartoon, and it's so funny. It's like, get out of my head, Charles, get out of my head. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I'm the Juggernaut. And he's like, my pants is too tight. There's like a lot of quotable lines, and it's all from that. So that's where the movie got it from. They got it from a viral video. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Let's see. I love Galactus. Cloud Galactus. Oh, yeah. Like, to me, like, that doesn't even matter. Like, I know people are like, it's not comic book characters. Like, but to me, I'm average Joe. I'm an average human being. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. We have Andrew. Andrew says, oh, shit. Okay. Hang on. I may have been one of 4 kids who went as Mr. Fantastic for 2005. Oh, good. That's awesome. I like that. Spirit of Vengeance. Oof. Oh, no. Is it bad? Blade 1 and 2 are peak. Yes. That's good. I will never watch Morbius. Oh, that's fine. You don't have to watch Morbius. I'm not forcing you. It's definitely... No. I can't even... That's why I said it's enjoyable to me. I can't say it's good. I can't recommend it. It's enjoyable to me. Like, I can't... Like, I'm not forcing anybody or telling or recommending it. Like, I can't even say I liked it. I just gotta say, it's not like I can't say I liked it because I didn't like it. I fell asleep during the second time I saw it. I just find it enjoyable, though. I, too, have seen Morbius twice in the theater. Yes. Okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone on that one. Good. Rewatching Spider-Man 2 in theaters really changed my mind. That definitely is a better movie of the trilogy. Oh, yeah. Read a poetry. And then we have I Know Where It's From Now. Oh, okay. I didn't know you. I don't know if you knew that or not. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm caught up. So the next time, oh, hang on. I got a cheat here. Shit. I got to create a new category. Give me a second here. I got to create a new category. Hopefully it allows me. Because I'm streaming right now and it might be. Nope. Shit, what happened? Okay. Add a row below. Because I see what movies are coming up and I need to add a row. Come on, click. Oh, I might have added two more. Oops. Oh, why is it so slow on my end? All right, I'll have those just as backup. But I have to put a new one where it says I cannot rate. Because I see them coming up here. And the reason why I'm creating that new tier is because the Harry Potter movies are coming up, and I can't rate those. I can't rate those properly, and I don't want to be a negative Nelly, so I just got to say I cannot rate. So the next one up, we have Spider-Man. Is this Across the Universe? Whatever. The first Spider-Man, the animated Spider-Man. I got to say that one is good. I'm going to put that with good. I don't want to say I loved it, but I'll say it's good. It's a good movie. I have no more to say about it. It was just good. It was enjoyable. Because, yeah, it was good. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man 2. We have to put that as... I don't know. That's shitty. I don't like Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man 2, specifically. If anyone's just listening. I'm going to put that for forgettable. Forgettable, that's what you are. You set up a universe and did nothing with it. Forgettable, that's what you are. Okay, we have Amazing Spider-Man 1. We have, I'm going to say kind of good. Kind of good. You got Martin Sheen, Sally Field, and you got a lizard, and it's kind of good. It's kind of good. And you got Emma Stone. It's kind of good. Don't want to be bad about it. Don't want to bash it. It's kind of good. Okay, the first Venom movie. I gotta say, I loved it because there's some stupid ass shit in that movie. Isn't this like? I think this is the one where like the Venom goes inside the girlfriend and then she kisses him because it almost feels like Venom wanted to kiss Tom Hardy, and it's funny. And then like Tom Hardy is like this reporter and he's kind of bad at it. And then the girlfriend is like Claire Williams, right? Something like that, where she's like a real actress and she's in this schlock. Like she's like a real actress. She's like in real dramatic movies. Like most of her filmography is like real movies, and then she's in this fucking Venom movie, which I find hilarious. And yeah, I liked it. I loved it. Yeah, because they fight on the spaceship, right? And then like Tom Hardy's like, I don't like you, Venom. You were trying to kill me, and Venom's like, I wasn't trying to kill you, Eddie. I'm in love with you, Eddie. Like Venom is in pure love with Eddie, which I find hilarious. And then this is the one with the fucking Marx Brothers shit where he goes inside the restaurant and he's overheating, so he goes inside the fucking fish tank and he's like eating lobster. This is great. I loved it. I loved the first Venom movie. Speaking of Venom, we have Venom 2, and I gotta say, I might have to drop that. It needs a rewatch because that movie was so simple. I almost wonder if I missed anything. I do know I love the opening scene. It's very out of Superman 3. Like the first 15 minutes, I think, where you're showing where Eddie and Venom are at in their life. That seems like very Superman 2 and 3, where it's like very silly because like Venom is like making a mess and like he's making like stuff in the kitchen and Eddie's like barely waking up drinking coffee, and it's hilarious because Venom's like cooking and throwing all the shit around. It's like it's silly. It's like a Richard Lester. I think that's the guy who directed the Superman movies. It's like that, but I want to rewatch it though because I don't know if I feel like I missed something because I feel like the movie's over so quick. I don't know if I don't know. I have to rewatch it. I feel like I missed something. I don't know why. I need to rewatch them. Okay, next is this is the Johnny Depp Galadriel movie or whatever the hell it's called. Haven't seen, don't want to watch. I'll be mean with this one. And I'll be mean with that one is because I saw the sequel with Ezra Miller and whoever, Mads Mikkelsen. I gotta say that one was fair. It was fair. There was some fun shit in that movie. It was fair. Can't say it was terrible. It was fair. Now all these Harry Potter movies, pretty sure I've seen them at least once, but I don't want to be mean and say never again. I don't want to be mean and say fair. So I just got to say I cannot rate these. I cannot rate these movies because I don't care. I'm not nostalgic for them. I've seen them all. I can't say much on them because I have no interest. I remember when I was in high school, I was in high school because I think that's the only time when people actually talked about Harry Potter. And I asked like, what's the deal? Why should I get into it? Why do you like Harry Potter? And I remember they would always say like Daniel Radcliffe. And I'm like, well, I'm not into Daniel Radcliffe. Why should I watch these movies? And I don't know. I think the positive thing is that I really do love the meme. And he's like, he's going to sacrifice himself. Ron, no. What is it? He's going to sacrifice himself. Once I make my move, that makes you free to take the king. And I love that meme. Okay. Since that's a big giant chunk, let's go to the comments. What do the comments say? What's your ranking? What's your comments? Spider-Verse has the best Stan Lee cameo. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, I agree with that. Where he's in the shop selling the costumes. Tom Hardy's performance. I don't know. I like him mumblecore in Mad Max. I just rewatched Mad Max and I love his mumblecore. He's like, we could go that way, and it's all desert, it's all salt, but we could go that way to the synagogue. We'll go straight through. I like his mumblecore. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Hey, Becky. Hey, Becky. Hey, Becky. So letting you know, Becky, so when I go to the tier thing, I can't see the comments. So just letting you know. So if I ignore your comment, I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually doing the ranking and I come back every once in a while to the comments so I can read them. So saying that, be specific with what movie you're referencing. So if you comment on something, say the movie title or reference something that I would know. But hello, Full Metal. This is Becky, everyone. I just watched her live stream the other day. She's great. She plays games. Rewatching Amazing Spider-Man 2 was exhausting. Dude, I kind of want to rewatch it, but I also don't. Because I know how long it is. I know Spider-Man's only in the movie for 40 minutes and there's like 2 other hours, so it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I know it's like a ridiculous length. But it's just like, ugh, I don't want to. I don't want to. I never watched any of the Harry Potter movies. I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you if you write the books or read the books. I don't know. I'm not into them. Harry Potter, LOL, old man. I didn't read the books, and like whenever I ask people, they're like, "It's Daniel Radcliffe." It's like I don't care about Daniel Radcliffe. Let's see. Got to rewatch Fury Road before Furiosa. We go down the middle. It's so good, dude. Like it changed my mind. Okay, I'm sure Mad Max is on this list somewhere. But time out. Let me talk about Fury Road. Like, so I'm dead set thinking in my head that nothing can top Mad Max because I love Mad Max. Mad Max is my favorite one. I know everyone loves Road Warrior, and everyone's kind of iffy on Thunderdome. But I really love the simplicity of the first Mad Max movie, and I was actually like, nothing's gonna change that. But when I rewatched Fury Road, I was like, this is possibly the greatest movie of all time. So like Fury Road is the best Mad Max movie, but I really do like the simplicity of the first Mad Max movie. But dude, Fury Road is so fucking rad. Oh my god. It's so fucking good. Holy shit, it's so good. All right. So the next time I'll check the comments is when we get to Coraline. Coraline. Okay. So 1917, I gotta say. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong one. I clicked Hangover. Whoops. All right, Hangover. I gotta say, kind of good. I know I probably should rewatch it. It's been years, but I remember it being kind of good. I accidentally clicked the wrong one. Let me click the right one. Let me click 1917. Okay, click 1917. 1917 is fair. I remember watching 1917, and I feel like I got too distracted by the gimmick, and I feel like it's nothing more than the gimmick because the whole movie's just kind of like you're just following this guy. But it's kind of just a gimmick, isn't it? Because you're just appreciating the filmmaking and appreciating that they went through all this hard work to do this one continuous shot. And this is like the movie that they could do it to because it's like you could do it all outside and it's all like in the open plains of World War I. There's no big giant buildings or anything. It's all open space, so it's fair. It's fine. Um, yeah, it's just the gimmick to me, and since I don't care about the gimmick that much, like to me, I'm like, ooh, that's cool, but it's like it gets tiring. It's like, all right, fuck it, whatever. But like 1917, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. 21 Jump Street. Let's put that with again, kind of good. I have not seen this since 2011. I don't really care for a rewatch, but I know it was kind of good. And Brie Larson's in it. 22 Jump Street. I got to be honest. Haven't seen it. Don't want to watch. I heard it's better than the first. Heard it's funnier, but I got to be honest. I have no interest in watching it. Same thing with Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Have no idea why this is on the list. Haven't seen it. Don't want to watch it. Have no interest. I didn't have an interest when I was a teenager. I don't have interest now. American Psycho with Christian Bale. That's got to be the GOAT. It's got to go up here. GOAT material. Christian Bale is a great performance in this movie. I own like 3 copies. I own the DVD. I own like the open letterbox version of American Psycho, and I also own the Steelbook. Now, where did American Psycho? Oh my gosh, it even go all the way up. Here we go. Here we go. American Psycho is the goat. But yeah, I like that movie. I love that movie. And not only that, it was one of the first experiences where I went to the theater to go see it as a kid back in 1999, 2000, whatever it was. And I remember I had to hold my eyes like the entire time. Like occasionally I was able to watch the movie, but like most of the movie I was covering my eyes. And I remember they played it on USA a lot when I was in high school. So yeah, I love American Psycho. It's good. It is good. Okay, we have Anchorman 1. Where's the first Anchorman? That's weird. Did I accidentally rank Anchorman already? Let me double check. I don't want to mess up anything. No, okay, that's weird. So Anchorman 2 is here by itself. No idea why. Anchorman 2, I gotta give you Never Again. I remember being hyped to go see it. I was hoping a little bit of magic would return, but it's kind of lame. It's kind of fucking lame. There's nothing that really stands out about it. I wouldn't recommend it, and it's kind of lame. At least that's what I remember. Okay, here we go. We got Back to the Future. Back to the Future is the GOAT because it's not really a Marty McFly movie. It's sort of a George McFly movie, which I like. I like the George McFly stuff. And I totally agree that he should have got paid more in the sequel because he made the first movie. The first movie is a George McFly movie because like the first part, it's Marty, but like Marty doesn't change. George McFly changes. He's the real protagonist because you want him to get the girl. Marty just wants to get home. I don't know if that's a crazy theory or not, but like that's what I get from it when I watch it. So I like the George McFly shit much more than the Marty stuff. Marty's good and all, but like I like the George McFly stuff. That's what makes the first one interesting. Oops. Here we go. Give it a second to reboot or reconnect or whatever. This is all choppy. Choppy. Okay, we go. Back to Future Part 2. Back to Future Part 2. I gotta say, loved it. This is another thing about this ranking because I have to go with my personal feelings. Like in personal feelings, I loved it, but I do remember rewatching it recently and thinking like, oh, it's not as good as I thought it was. But like technically and historically and nostalgia feeling, if I were to see anyone dressed as these characters, I'd be like, oh my god, that's amazing. So I got to go with loved it. So Back to the Future, not as strong as the first movie, but still fucking awesome with what they did and achieved. And the same thing with Back to the Future Part 3, where it's like, it's kind of okay, but like, if I were to see anyone dressed in an outfit, or if I were to see the car from the third movie, I'd be hyped up, so I can't say I hate it or say, it's just good. I gotta say I loved it, so loved it. We have Castaway. Castaway I've been wanting to rewatch. Needs a rewatch. I'm gonna put that with Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Yeah. Because there was recently, I think last year, there was this video that was recommended to me on YouTube where this guy did this video essay on the themes and the religiousness of Castaway. And like he really like broke down the movie and explains all the things. And the most heartbreaking thing about this video essay is the fucking guy who reviewed this movie dies at the end. He literally dies at the end because you find out like during this process of this video essay is that this guy has like cancer and he loves talking about movies and Christianity and he wants to share his thoughts and opinions on Castaway. And he's like, I'm going to do everything possible to talk about the movie to the point where I think like towards the end, like in part 2 or part 3, or I don't forget how many parts there were, but like all he could do was talk. So they just recorded him talking about it, but someone else had to edit and finish the video for him. And it's just that made me want to rewatch Castaway and how the power of film affects people. I'm getting emotional now. Oh my god! But of course, that video essay is just as emotional because you find out the fucking guy is sick, and then at the end, you find out he didn't survive his cancer. Spoiler alert for the video essay. But like, god damn, he loved movies and his religion or his faith that much that he did that. So I got to rewatch Castaway because any movie that fucking powerful, I have to rewatch. Holy shit. Okay. Next one is The Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat needs a rewatch. I've been wanting to rewatch it recently because I've been doing like a 90s rewatch and comedies because I just need a laugh. Like after I started doing the scary movie stuff, it's like, man, I like these kind of spoof and stupid comedies. I want to rewatch some of them, and The Cat in the Hat's one of them. I want to rewatch because I remember as a kid, I fucking love Cat in the Hat just because of the adult humor. Because I was like, oh, I feel like I shouldn't be watching this because there's like a lot of adult humor in it that I recall. And I had a Cat in the Hat Monopoly game, so Cat in the Hat stands out to me. I have nostalgic feelings for it, so I want to rewatch it. Charlie with Johnny Depp, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I'm going to say kind of good. A few years ago, I did a Tim Burton filmography video, and it made me appreciate a lot of his movies that I thought were, bad or just okay. And I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is kind of good. I don't think it's terrible or bad or, I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, it was good. Kind of cool, kind of okay. All right, we have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I got to put up here with Goat. And Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is one of those movies where it's like I found out about the movie through a reference. So when I was younger, I was watching Ace Ventura, and there's a scene in Ace Ventura where he's like, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, we love you. Hi, ho, anywhere we go now. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, our 5-4 fender friend. Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Bang Bang, yeah. So I was like, what the hell is that from? So I found out there was a movie called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I watched it, and it was like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my whole life. I like that movie. I consider Chitty Chitty Bang Bang like a space capsule movie. Like if you're going to outer space or a desert island and you want a movie that does a little bit of everything, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's your answer. I love that movie. Highly recommend. Coraline deserves a rewatch because I remember when it first came out, I did not like it. Sam I Am. But over the last couple of years, I'm like, I think I was just like a poo-poo head. I think I was just a negative Nelly. So I think I need to revisit Coraline because I think Coraline looks good. Whenever I see clips from it, I'm like, yeah, maybe I was wrong. So that definitely needs a rewatch. So now that I've gotten to Coraline, let's check the comments. Luke doesn't think so. Is that Luke? Is that who you can tell? Oh my God. About Fury Road, yes. Never seen American Psycho. Highly recommend American Psycho. Back to the Future is peak of the trilogy. Yes, it's the first movie is the peak. And then what do you have? What's the next comment? Yes, Back to the Future 1. Yes. And then honestly, really love the remake of the Veruca Salt song. Yes, I agree. I know people are kind of harsh on those songs, but I'm like, yeah, they're fine. Okay, so the next time I'll check the comments is The Hangover Part 2. Okay, so we have a Dirty Grandpa. I'm going to say haven't seen, don't want to watch. Can't waste my time. Don't care. I don't even know what Dirty Grandpa is. Is Dirty Grandpa the one with Johnny Knoxville, or is it the one with Robert De Niro? Either way, I don't want to watch it. Django. Bum, 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 bum. Out of the Tarantino movies, I think it's my least favorite. And even that saying least favorite, it means it was good. So Django I'd rate as good. I'd have to do a Tarantino ranking. I wonder if I've already done it. I'd have to really think about the Tarantino ranking. But Django is like, even though I don't like it, it's still good. Don't Look Up. I wish there was one that says have no interest, but I gotta say, haven't seen, don't want to watch. I remember people were like, you should watch Don't Look Up. I'm like, no, just because your fucking Netflix told you to watch it doesn't mean I have to watch it. Oh my gosh. Yep, nope. We have Truman Show, even though, oh wait, I clicked the wrong thing. God damn it. Okay, looks like I clicked John Wick 3. I think I clicked John Wick 3. I gotta put loved it. If that's John Wick 3, let me go back down. Maybe I clicked the wrong one. How did I get to John Wick? No, it's John Wick 4. Oops. John Wick 4 is not a loved it. John Wick good is kind of good. It's not as good as the first 3 movies. John Wick 4 is kind of good. Yeah, it's kind of good because it's not bad. It's kind of good. Yeah, that's my thoughts on John Wick 4. I have no idea how I clicked that. Okay, so John Wick 4 is like my least favorite of the movies because I love the first movie. The second one, not as great. Third movie is like the best, so it would be like 3, 1, 2, 4 if I were to rank them. I think that's right. 3, 1, 2, 4. Yes, that's my ranking of John Wick. Spoiler alert. Okay, let's get back to Truman Show. Okay, I don't know how I clicked the wrong one. Okay, Truman Show. I got Truman Show. Okay, Truman Show. Truman Show is, even though I don't own it, I have to say I loved it because it has all those themes of like a fake child because he's like you know, the Christ of, like the guy's name Christoph Christov of the character Truman because he's the true man. All these quote unquote subtle things in this movie, The Truman Show. It's a good movie though, very good. I should own it. It's a good movie. Because that deals with all the things I love about like Barbie and Last Action Hero and what's the other movie recently that sort of had that theme? But yeah, like Barbie and Last Action Hero, it's like you find out things aren't real and you have to find yourself and what is yourself? What do you really like? What do you want to do with life? And Truman Show does all those themes, so that's why I like it. Okay, Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz, I have to rank with I loved it because it was that year where I really discovered more movies. Because that was the year where I went to FYE, um, Borders. I got Empire magazine, started reading up on movies, and started buying the movies, and watched them, and just like filled my head with all this movie knowledge. And Hot Fuzz was like one of the movies that did that because I was like, "Oh, I like Hot Fuzz. What movies are they referencing?" So I like watched Point Blank, the Lethal Weapon movies, um, the Dirty Harry movies. Like I watched a lot of cop movies because of Hot Fuzz, and those movies led to other movies. So it was just I can't thank Hot Fuzz enough. And not only that, but like Hot Fuzz made me really like the whole vlogging thing. Because in the behind the scenes, there's this thing called like Hot Fuzz Rally where their friend Joe records all their press tour of Hot Fuzz. And that to me is like one of the coolest documentaries because it gives you that side that you never see, that they keep getting asked the same questions over and over, and that they take advantage of the towns they go to, where they see the Exorcist steps. They go see like the Dirty Harry filming locations and Zodiac stuff. Because I think Zodiac just came out when they were promoting Hot Fuzz, so they're like, "Oh man, this is where Zodiac was filmed." So it's a lot of nostalgia, and it's a lot of like it opened the gateway for me to love movies. Love movies. Okay, so when we get to John Wick 3, I think that's when I'll hit the comment section. Because I forgot to announce that. Okay, so next we have Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is a goat. Oppenheimer, I just watched it again for probably the fourth or fifth time in the movie theater, and it's still fucking good. It's still fucking good, and I can't wait to do my little edit for my how much longer does the program need. It's gonna be fun. There's like a whole because this is like the solid ending. The solid ending for my how much longer is this. It's gonna be like a sequence. It should be its own thing, but I'm gonna put it in the middle of this video because it's a good gag. But yeah, I really loved that. So Oppenheimer is the GOAT. And it also revived my love for, what do you call it? Christopher Nolan. Because I thought Christopher Nolan had lost his magic. I was like, I don't know, man. But then Oppenheimer, I'm like, oh, nope, he's good. And let's put Dunkirk as kind of good. Because I think on my second or third rewatch, I enjoyed it a lot more. But like, he has an erection for fucking time. And that's what kind of like holds me back for not really loving Dunkirk because I'm like, man, just tell a normal fucking movie. You don't have to do this takes place in 30 minutes. This takes place in an hour. This takes place over 2 days. It's like, just fucking tell a normal movie, man. So that's why I lose this points for me. But all the performances, all the acting, all the sequences, I think are really great and, well done. Okay, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I have to say fair. I was going to say kind of good. But like maybe it needs a rewatch. But like I don't want to rewatch it because I remember watching in the theater and there's a certain point of the movie where I'm like, I'm really loving this movie. It's changing how I see how movies could be made and like done, and it's like I'm really having a good time. But there's a point of the movie, and it's like almost halfway through it, where it's like, okay, I had enough of this because it overstays its welcome. And I think it's like almost halfway through, or maybe an entire third act. But I know it's a huge chunk of the movie where I just felt like, okay, let's wrap this thing up. It overstayed its welcome. It did too much of like, hey, look at this, isn't this fucking cool? It did a little too much of that, even though like that first part is like really fucking good and the performances are really fucking good. But like it overstayed its welcome for me, where it's like, okay, I'm done. I came. Let me go. I want to go home. I want to go. Let's see. Next one is Fantastic Mr. Fox. Hang on, come on, make sure I clicked it. Okay, got it. Fantastic Mr. Fox is the GOAT. It's probably my favorite Wes Anderson movies. I love the needle drops. I love how short it is, and I love the performances. I love the George Clooney. It almost seems like a sequel to like Oh Brother Where Art Thou. It's like that same kind of George Clooney I like that he really hasn't done enough of them. I think he's done like a handful, but I wish he did more of that. I really liked it though. I really liked Fantastic Mr. Fox because I used to think it was like Life Aquatic or Rushmore or even Bottle Rocket. But after rewatching Fantastic Mr. Fox, I'm pretty sure that's my favorite Wes Anderson movie. And I know everyone tells me to see Grand Budapest Hotel and his more recent movies, but it's like those are too stylized for me. You know what I mean? I'd rather it look like a stop motion cartoon rather than a live action cartoon, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I don't know. They're too stylized for me. Where it's just like, I know I won't like it. I don't want to be mean on it. I don't want to be mean, boo boo head. Okay, next movie we got is Dory. Dory is fair. I don't want to dunk on Dory. And I don't want to love Dory because I don't really love Finding Dory. Because I think Toy Story 4 ruined the ending to Dory. Because Toy Story 4 again ends with the car being driven by the characters. And it's like, we've done this with Dory. We've done this in Toy Story 2. Stop with this trope, Pixar. Find a new trope. So there's that. So like Dory's fair. It's a good sequel to, I should say, not good. It's a decent sequel. It's a decent sequel. I was like, what can you do with Finding Nemo? Like, what can you do for a sequel? They did a decent job. They go to the aquarium. You know, that's where else are you gonna go? Where else you gotta go with the series? So you go to the aquarium. But yeah, it's fair. I don't want to dunk on it because it's not terrible, and it's not my favorite. It's not great, but it's fair. And we have Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo's Nemo. Hang on. Am I clicked on it? Finding Nemo's. Where's Nemo's going? Nemo's is going to. I think I gotta say, loved it. Because I think when I watch the movie, I really fucking love it. But like when I think about it, like, yeah, it's fine. But like when I watch it, I love it. So I have to go with loved it. Because it's one of those movies where it's like, it's tight storytelling. There's great moments. There's quotable moments. It's always moving. It's always going. Every character is like a main roster character. It like none of them feel like C characters because they're all funny. Like Hershey Aqua Scum. It's the morning. The tank is clean. Like there's great moments in this fucking movie. I love this movie. So I gotta go with loved it. Finding Nemo gets a love, and Finding Dory gets a fair. So there you go. Fury. Even though I own the movie and I used it for many projects, and I always say, oh, maybe one day I'll watch it. I got to be honest with myself. I haven't seen it. I don't want to watch it. Even though I've heard great things, I own it. I have said, it's one of those things where I say it and I want to believe it, but I know in my heart I'll probably never watch Fury. So there you go. Let's see, next one here is King Kong versus Godzilla, the new movie. I gotta say, it's forgettable. Well, this ain't the new movie. I don't think it's the new movie. I think it's the one that came out in like 2021. The first, not the original 60s King Kong versus Godzilla. The COVID King Kong versus Godzilla, where they fight Megatron at the end. It's forgettable. That's what you are. I don't like that one. GXK is much better. Okay. Oh yeah, as promised. Let's go to the comment section. Comments. Comments. What do we got? Oh, there's only one new comment. One new comment. And the one new comment is from Andrew. Give it a minute. Looks like it froze. I don't know why. There we go. Should be called Don't Look It Up, but yes. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for the comic stylings of Andrew. Okay. Let me close these two things. Maybe they're. Hopefully, it's not too choppy. I notice it looks choppy. It's probably the stupid cord. I'm using a cord that I probably shouldn't be using for my streaming, but fuck it. Whatever. Okay, the next movie is. Okay, so the next time I'll check the comments. So if you leave a comment, it looks like it's for Kingsman. So we're going to keep moving. Hangover 2. I think Hangover 2 is. Make sure I clicked it. Come on. Let's see it. Let's see ya. See ya, don't wanna be ya. Okay. We have a Hangover 2. Hangover 2, I gotta say, never again. I remember the first one being like, oh yeah, this is funny, but the second one gets really fucked up to the point where I don't like. Is it Stu? No, I don't think it's Stu. Whoever the Ed Helms character is, I really don't like the Ed Helms character because I feel like he's deeply fucked up and needs to get over whatever it is. I know they play it off for laughs, but there's something really wrong with that character, and I don't like it. Yeah, and I just remember being a darker movie, a darker, grosser movie. But there's that, and it's also the Home Alone of adult sequels because it's just the first movie but bigger. Okay, next one is Inglourious Basterds. Inglourious Basterds is I'm gonna go with Loved It. It's a Loved It. I remember one time I wanted to watch it as background noise, but most of the movie is subtitles because it's a different language, which cracked me up. And I was like, I was supposed to be working. I was supposed to be doing homework or writing an essay. But I ended up watching Inglourious Basterds because I mistook it as background noise, but it's not background noise. You really have to watch it. Okay, It Chapter 1. It Chapter 1. Back in the day, it would probably be The GOAT. But since the sequel came out after it, I gotta say it's a C. It's kind of good. Chapter 1 is kind of good, just because Chapter 2 ruined it. Chapter 2, I know I need to rewatch it, so I gotta put it on. I gotta put it as fair. Did I even click it? Come on, computer. Computer. Hey, I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading. Hang on. Click it again. There we go. Oh, man. I gotta say it was... Okay, so I was gonna say fair, right? Because I don't want to say forgettable. I gotta say it's fair. But It Chapter 2 ruined the first movie for me because it just made Pennywise such a weak character. It's he can't kill these depressed 40-year-olds. You can't do that? That's fucking lame. They're all depressed and want to kill themselves, and you still can't fucking kill them? Stupid. Okay, we have John Wick 3. John Wick 3 is the GOAT. As said earlier, my ranking John Wick 3 is my favorite one, followed by 1 and 2. The fourth one's fine. The fourth one's eh. Johnny English. Now here is let's see, what are my ranking things? Haven't seen, don't want to watch. Okay. So I think all the Johnny English movies is I haven't seen but I want to watch, but I just don't know when. So one day I'll watch these movies, but at this point, and I can't even differentiate these. I didn't even know there was 3 movies. But at some point I do want to check out the Johnny English movies because I think I'll like them. Because they're making fun of James Bond and I don't like James Bond, so I should enjoy those. Okay. John Wick 2. John Wick 2 has a fucking awesome opening scene, so I have to go with Loved It. Can't say it was just good because the opening scene is really fucking rad. And it's got Peter Stormare in it. Peter Stormare. He plays the brother, and that's good. And then they blow up his house, and there's another dog. I don't know. I loved it. Okay, and John Wick 1, I gotta say it's GOAT. It's GOAT material. Because I really do love John Wick 1. John Wick 1 is a simplistic, real, lower budget action movie that really changed the game for action. Like, it made people want to actually try for action movies. And I liked how the stunt coordinators finally became the directors, because I remember watching one movie. I think it was a Jason Statham movie called Safe. I think that's what it was called. And I remember watching behind the scenes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, the stuntmans are like directing the movie. The director's like just standing to the side. Meanwhile, the stunt coordinator is like literally directing the whole choreography and the whole scene. Because like, all right, the camera's got to go here and this and that. I'm like, why isn't he directing? So I completely understand why they just gave it to the stunt coordinators, because they're like, man, we're already fucking directing the scene. Why don't we just direct the whole movie? Jojo Rabbit, no interest, none at all. Hang on. Let me click it. There we go. Jojo Rabbit, haven't seen, don't want to watch. Don't want to. No, I don't fucking care. I just don't like that TT, whatever his name, TT Wakaga or whatever. Watawatiki or whatever. Terrible at his name. I don't care for him, and I don't like his movies. King Kong 2005. I have to say good when it loads. It was good. I watched it a few years ago and I liked it. It is overlong. It does overstay its welcome, but it was good. It was good. Kingsman 2. Kingsman 2, I got to put love. It's not GOAT, but I love it. Because it's got Julian Moore. It's got cowboy shit. It's got Jeff Bridges. I saw it with Paige. Yeah, it's fun. I like the second Kingsman, I should say. And then we have the first Kingsman. The first Kingsman was good. You're going there with King Kong 2005. It was good. Not as good as I really liked the second one, but like the first one was like, edgier shit, but the second one was like, okay, it's definitely giving the audience the middle finger. It's like, you're on board or you're not. And as promised, let's check the comments. No comments? What is going on? Have I gotten too choppy? What's going on? Why is there no comments? Is everyone left? Why have you left me? Why have you forsaken me? Okay. So again, next comment, checkpoint will be the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay. So we have Madagascar 2. I like them big. I like them chunky. That's the one where they go to Africa. I got to say that was good. That one's good. 3 is the polka dot afro. I got to say that one's forgettable because I don't remember that one. I think there's a whole Katy Perry like music video in that. I forget if it's Firework or something. Roar. It's like a whole music video, and I don't know. And the first Madagascar, I should explain this. I don't know if I explained it in the previous podcast. I'm sure I have. Just for nostalgia reasons and just because of the family story, I've got to go with GOAT. So when the Madagascar movie came out, I went to see it with my sisters, Rachel and Ritza, and my mom. And we were laughing so hard at the movie that someone came in, like the worker, was like, if you don't keep it down, we're going to have to kick you out of this theater. And it was funny because we're like the only ones in the theater. I think there may be like one or two other families in the theater. But we were laughing so hard at Madagascar 1 and maybe even swearing. We might have been like, oh shit, or fuck, that was funny. We might have swore accidentally because we were laughing so hard. But just because of that, I have to put it as GOAT. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I have no idea if it holds up. But for the love of God, that story makes me smile every time I think about it. That me and my sisters and my mom almost got kicked out of the theater just because we were laughing so hard at Madagascar 1. That stands out to me, and that's why it's GOAT. It's GOAT! Okay. Men in Black 3, I think, needs a rewatch. I recently rewatched 1 and 2. I just bought MIB International just because it was cheap at a secondhand store, so I'm like, I want to check that out. But like Men in Black 3, I have to rewatch. I remember liking it, but since the first 2 are so fresh in my head, I feel like it needs a rewatch so I could, rank them or tell them which one's good or not. Men in Black 2, even though it annoys me like the first like probably 20 minutes just because like when they tease Frank or overdo Frank in the beginning, it kind of makes me go like, ooh. But as the movie goes along and I see like the characters and I see like the fun shit they do, I gotta say I loved it. I loved Men in Black 2. I think my favorite thing is, and I wish all the movies opened up. They only did it with the second one. I wish they all opened up with Peter Graves doing like, here's a story that never happened, and like it's a cheesy recreation, and then the movie plays and you see the real mission. I wish they all did that. Like if I were to do a Men in Black movie, I would lift that and then do my own thing. But I would lift like, you're watching a VHS, like this is a story from the Men in Black that never happened, and then they tell the story cheesily, redone, and then the movie plays out of like what really happened. And I think that'd be really fun. And they only did that with the second one, and I get why, because it's like one of the clues, but like I really think that's like a cool opening. It's almost like a James Bond opening, like this is what's going to happen. And I wish they would do that. I really like that, Peter Graves coming in and doing that. Okay, Men in Black International, just like I said, I just bought it, so haven't seen it, want to watch. Because if I don't like it, then I could probably use it for a project. But like, I want to watch it. I want to see what Chris Hemsworth have, because like they're really trying to push Chris Hemsworth, and I really don't see it. Like I don't see it. He doesn't do anything for me, so I want to see what he does in that movie. So the original Men in Black movie is the GOAT. Honestly, there's great performances. There's awesome special effects that still hold up to this very day. The first Men in Black movie is like probably the greatest thing ever. It's Tommy Lee Jones at his peak during the 90s when he's doing all these family movies for his kids. It's Will Smith before he got his head too big because he's like, I don't want to do sci-fi anymore. Meanwhile, he was making bank with sci-fi, and I think that was like his route he should have stayed with. But like, dude, like Men in Black 1 is fucking top tier, and I love that movie. Yeah, I just rewatched it recently, and that's really good. That is like legitimately a good movie. So there's that. Okay, still going. Moana. Moana is never again. And my reasoning is because Moana is just a copycat of Aladdin and Hercules and Mulan, but it doesn't understand what makes those movies work. Cause it's like repeating. It's like completely lifting like the big giant guy. I forgot what his name is. The Rock is basically Genie, and her whole mission is like Mulan. But the thing that bothers me is that her father doesn't know why she ran away, and technically, he doesn't know about her journey or what she sees. So when she comes back, she could just be lying. And I never bought that he bought into the whole thing that the water was real and the whole mission was real. I bought that he was a real life believer. Like, no, this is happening because this happened. Like, I don't think he really believed in their faith or religion. Like, from what I recall like the father being like a level-headed guy, being like, no, our crops are dying because this is a bad season. And like the daughter was like, no, it's because the water and the gods. And he's like, no, it's not. You're crazy talk. So I never bought the relationship when she came back, like, because she could have been lying. She could have had like, heat stroke. Like, why would he believe her? And I don't know. It's repeating a lot of the things that they did with Hercules and Aladdin. And it's like they don't know what they're doing. Like, they don't understand why those things work. And I don't think it works for Moana. That's just my personal opinion. I know people love it. I know it's getting like a sequel and a live action thing, and it's on Disney on Ice, and people love this movie. But it's like, as an old man who's seen the world turn, it's like, no thanks. I don't like Moana. Life of Brian. Haven't seen. I got to say, want to watch because I'm not a huge Monty Python fan, but like I'd give it a chance. I'd give Life of Brian a chance. Holy Grail needs a rewatch. I've seen it as a kid. To me, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail is like the ultimate nerdy movie. Like if you're quoting Monty Python and the Holy Grail, you're nerdier than Star Wars. You're nerdier than anything. You're nerdier than Doctor Who. You're nerdier. You're like the nerdiest. Because if you're going like, meh, we are the knights who go meh, or like, oh, it's only a flesh wound. Like you're a fucking nerd. And I always held it to that level, but I need to rewatch it. I need to give it another shot. But like, Holy Grail to me is just like the ultimate nerd movie, and it's just like I don't have any nostalgia for it. I just have because I remember kids in high school would quote this movie, and I'm like, you fucking nerds. I never said it, but I was just thinking, like, you fucking nerds. Ugh. Okay. Oh, there's the first Anchorman. Why the hell is it way far away? Okay, so the first Anchorman. I actually want to upgrade this because I bought the VHS. My God, in like 2005. It was like the death, knock knock knocking on heaven's door for VHS, and that's when I bought Anchorman. And I remember someone on Twitter asked me like, "Really, they were still making VHSs?" Then I was like, "Yeah, why would I lie that I bought an Anchorman VHS?" It's like, why the fuck would I lie? Why would I lie? Oh my God. It just irritated me when I got that comment. I was like, why the fuck would I lie about an Anchorman VHS? Oh my God, it's so stupid. Anyway, I have never upgraded it. I never got the DVD. I never got Wake Up, Good Morning, It's Ron Burgundy. But I do remember loving this movie so much that before I left for school some days, I would watch the opening scene to get me hyped because I love the whole opening scene where it's like, hey, everybody, come see how good I look. And it's like playing a treat her like a lady. And he's like hyping himself up to be the Anchorman. That would hype me up to go to school because it would just crack me up and make me smile. And how like he would land in the middle of the city with the helicopter, it was just so funny to me. And that movie is silly, and I can't believe like even that movie is like saved by like a reshoot because like the original movie is the Wake Up Ron Burgundy, and that's kind of lame. But yet this movie works. I have no idea how it works. I'd have to rewatch it, but like I'm definitely going to upgrade it because they're releasing the 4K later this year, so I'm going to get the 4K of Anchorman because I haven't upgraded. But I do love it, and I give it an A. Anchorman gets an A. Oh no, it froze. Oh, no. Okay, let's check the time while the computer catches up. Oh my God, we only have like 15 minutes left. We only have 15 minutes left. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we've gone through a lot of movies though. I appreciate this because these are like movies I normally wouldn't talk about, but that's fun. Okay, where are we at now? Okay, Scary Movie. Yes. Okay, so I just rewatched the Scary Movies, and right now it says the first one. So the first one is fucking hilarious. The first one is GOAT. Whose is it, Bobby? Whose is it, Bobby? It's so funny. And they're like, oh, yeah, of course there's the movie. See, there's the director, the gaffer, the script supervisor. Hey, baby. I fucking love Scary Movie. I just, like I said in the beginning, I just acquired the poster, and I'm going to meet Shannon Elizabeth, and she's going to sign my Scary Movie poster. So I'm just excited. And I'm planning to do a photo op with the, dressed as the ghost face from that movie. So it should be fun. But yeah, just rewatched those all recently, and the first Scary Movie is fucking hilarious. Next movie on here is Mulan. Mulan's got to be GOAT because the soundtrack fucking rips, and then the movie's like a quick pace. I think it's like only 80, 90 minutes. It's a really quick movie. The voice acting is really great, and the music is fucking great. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. And then there's the other one, A Girl Worth Fighting For. Oh, man. And why does my reflection show? Oh, my gosh. And what's the other one? You'll bring honor to us all. Then they fucking rip. Man, that's when Disney movies fucking had great soundtracks. Oh, man. Mulan's good. Mulan is great. That's got to be the GOAT. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. All right. Last one before I check the comments is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's in my top 20 favorite movies of all time. So it's a GOAT. Enough said. I think I talked about it in my top 20 movies. So there you go. I won't explain any more than that. Let's go to the comments. Let's see. We have... I've only seen Holy Grail once. Nee! We're the knights who say nee! Fucking dorks. And when suddenly the animators suffered a total fatal heart attack. Yes, I'm a nerd. Oh, I'm so sorry, Andrew. But seriously, in high school, those were like the nerdiest kids, whoever quoted Holy Grail. And then we have Mulan is definitely up there as peak Disney. Dude, that's like right before they fucking crashed with like their CGI movies, like with Chicken Run and all that. But dude, Mulan it's top tier. It's the GOAT. Mulan's the GOAT. Okay, since there's only like 15 minutes, we'll keep going. So when the alarm goes off, I'll go back to the comments, but like we'll keep going. So from now on, it's just a speed run. Speed run. Okay, Operation Finale. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Haven't seen it. Don't want to watch. Orgasmo needs a rewatch. I saw it in college. I liked it, and I've been wanting to rewatch it because there's that clip that popped up on my Instagram feeds that always cracks me up. He's like, I don't want to sound gay or nothing, but like you were really great in that scene. It's so hilarious. It's like a running gag through the whole movie. I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but like I'd like to make love to you tonight. It's fucking hilarious. Oh my gosh. And I love the theme like no, you're a man. Oh man. It's so stupid. It's from the guys who made South Park. It's fucking hilarious. Okay, and we have the Penguins movie. Penguins of Madagascar. Haven't seen, want to watch. My sister Rachel always referenced the movie to me because there's a person named Dave in our life, and she's always like, Dave. Dave. And then we have Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is definitely a goat. It's the goat. It's the goat. It almost made my 100 movie list. So if you're watching this Shane Ford afterwards, number 101 on my list was Pulp Fiction. It almost made 100. It almost did. It almost made the list. Okay. So this is Puss in Boots. The first Puss in Boots, I have no interest. But the second one with the killer wolf, I want to see. So like haven't seen, want to watch. There you go. Okay, let's keep going. We must keep going. Ready Player One. Let me click on it. Or hopefully I can click on it. Oh no, I didn't click on it. Ready Player One. There we go. I have to put in a rewatch. Needs a rewatch because I watched it once in the theater. Haven't seen it since, so it needs a rewatch. Can't even go into depth with it because it needs a rewatch. Return of the Jedi. It's one of those ones where it's like I'm like, yeah, it's fine, it's okay. But like at the end of the day, when I watch it, I'm like, it's the fucking greatest. So, Return of the Jedi is definitely GOAT status. Even though it's silly, it's got Ewoks, and like in retrospect, it's probably like the weakest of the trilogy. But like, man, that original trilogy is so fucking fun. God damn. Rogue One. Rogue One is needs a rewatch. Because everyone says it's the best one, so I need to rewatch it. I've seen it 2 times, almost a third time. The first time I saw it was in IMAX. The second time I saw it was with my friend Alan in Texas. And the third almost time was I almost watched it with Anthony, but I think we had to watch Batman versus Superman for the commentary. So, because we had a poll, like, which one do you want to watch? And then we talked about Batman versus Superman instead. Saving Private Ryan. I almost picked up a Blu-ray the other day of this, but I decided not to just because I'm like, yeah, I like it, but it's not something I rewatch all the time. But honestly, even though like I don't own it and I've only seen it a couple times and it's not something I want to watch all the time, it's definitely GOAT because it's really awesome. Saving Private Ryan is really awesome, even though it's like it's not like one of my favorites, but like when I watch it, it's like, oh man, this fucking movie rocks. This movie rocks. So Saving Private Ryan is up there. Scary Movie 3, dude. Scary Movie 3. I really fucking love Scary Movie 3. That's a go. That's not even loved it. Scary Movie 3 is the fucking favorite. I love that. He says, man, I got a dream. What's your dream? To have a dream. It's so fucking silly and stupid, but I love it. The third one's top tier. Scary Movie 2. I just rewatched this recently, and I thought it was like the laziest thing, and I was really disappointed. But then I watched the deleted scenes, and I realized that they were cooking, but they had to cut out all the good scenes because all the good scenes were like too long, and it would have stopped the movie cold. And the alternate ending is very, like, to a mass audience, it's disappointing, but to me, it works. So I have to say, kind of good. Scary Movie 2 is kind of good because normally it'd probably be like fair or never again. But those deleted scenes really upped it where I was like, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt too. Give it a little bit higher. Because like one of the jokes in that movie that was like really fucking funny that they cut was like there's a whole bathtub scene from What Lies Beneath that they spoofed. Hilarious, but they cut it out just for time because honestly, I get it. That would stop the movie cold. Okay, let me click this. This one is Scary Movie 5. I would say fair, but I laughed more than I thought I would, so I have to say kind of good. Because there was an editing joke that they made fun of from Black Swan. That was fucking hilarious. And honestly, like, I know it should probably be lower on this list, like Fair or Forgettable or Never Again, but like, dude, I embarrassingly laughed a lot more than I thought I would for Scary Movie 5. So, and it's not better than anything else, and I wouldn't recommend it, but like on my rating, it's kind of good. It's kind of good. I can't say I hated it because I laughed. I laughed way more than I should have. Um, and then Scary Movie 4. Hopefully, it shows up here. Come on, Scary Movie 4. I would say loved it because I love. Oh my god, the whole thing where she's washing the old lady and she accidentally puts the sponge in the bedpan and then does the whole shit. That's fucking hilarious. I love the Tom Ryder stuff when they throw the football and the baseball, and I love the whole like unlock the door. No, you unlock the door, and they can't unlock the door. That shit's hilarious. I love all the Brenda stuff when they're on the airplane and they're reporters. Like, this is Detroit and this is Detroit afterwards. That's hilarious. But like, it does overstay its welcome. Like, towards the end, I think they stay too long in the village. But like, there's good pieces, Marcus. I do love the Saw stuff. I cracked up at the fucking. I know it's stupid. I know it's stupid. You don't have to tell me it's stupid. I know it is. But I love the opening scene with Dr. Phil and fucking Shaq in the Saw movie. It's so stupid. I love it though, where Shaq can't fucking get the basket and keeps hitting Dr. Phil in the head. And then Dr. Phil's like, I just gotta do it. And he cuts off his foot and they're like, it's the wrong foot. Oh my god. Hilarious. Or at least hilarious to me because it's so stupid. Oh man. But yeah, the Scary Movie 4 is loved it. It's not the GOAT, but I loved it. Shaun the Dead. Shaun the Dead has to be GOAT status because unlike Scary Movie, it's a legitimate comedy and it's good. And this is one of those movies where I watch. Oh, oops! Accidentally got. Hang on. There we go. Shaun of the Dead is definitely GOAT status, just because I would watch it every day after high school, and I've memorized the movie, and I would switch between the commentary and the movie. So not, I wouldn't watch the movie every day. So sometimes I'd watch the movie, sometimes I'd watch the commentary track, sometimes I'd watch behind the scenes. But like, I would swap it out, and I loved it. And I loved Shaun of the Dead. Okay, we have Batman Begins. Oh Lord, we found. Oops. Oh no, it loaded wrong. We're not at Batman Begins. Oh no, 1A. Oh man. Okay. We're at Shrek. Shrek 1. Try to do speed run. Hopefully, speed enough. Shrek 1 obviously is GOAT because Shrek 1's good. Like, that's a solid movie. Hang on, come on now. No, come on, Shrek. Come on, Shrek. You got to go up there. There you go. Shrek is GOAT. Yep, there you go. And then we have Shrek 2. Make sure I have it. Yep, Shrek 2 is definitely GOAT. And then Shrek 4 Ever After, I haven't seen and want to watch. And then we have Shrek 3. Hang on, oops, come on, load. Shrek 3 is needs a rewatch because I saw it, but I don't remember it. Simpsons movie is Never Again. Never Again. Sing. The first Sing. Oops, go on. Come on. Come on, Aladdin. Okay. Come on. I'm trying to do a speed run. Let's finish as many movies as possible. Come on, Sing. Okay, Sing. The first Sing movie is good. Because that's the one with Seth MacFarlane as the mouse, and both his scenes stand out to me. And I did it my way. And I love the father-son stuff with the gorillas. That's really cool. I think it's just because I like gorillas. Sing 2. I remember not being interested. So I never saw Sing 1 in the theater. The Sing 2 trailer. I think it was like during COVID or maybe around COVID or before COVID. They played the fucking Sing 2 trailer all the time. And I went to see it with my mom, and we both love Sing 2. Sing 2 is so fucking awesome. And I know, like, I sound completely crazy for saying this, but, like, Sing 2 is, like, really cool. I love Sing 2. Sing 2 is just incredible. And, dude, like, when he comes out there playing the U2 song, oh, shit. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Like, Sing 2 is great. Even though it's, like, an over-glorified jukebox movie, it's great. It's great. I love Sing 2. I know people don't like those Sing movies, but I like Sing 2. Sing 2 is awesome. Come on, Aladdin. We can do it. Okay, next movie on here is Small Soldiers. Obviously, that's the GOAT because I just did a commentary with Phil Dragish. Phil Dragish. Let it load. Let it load. Let it load. There we go. Small Soldiers is GOAT. I went to a toy show today and I was just expecting, like antique toys. But dude, I found a Nick Nitro. He'll be on the show next week. And then I found a Small Soldiers book bag that I really wanted. I really, really wanted, but I didn't budget that much for the show because I was like, it's just going to be antique toys. They're not going to have like stuff I want, but like there was a shit ton of things I wanted. I was like, oh my God. I kind of beefed it, but like I've been to so many of these antique toy shows. I'm just anticipating antique toys. For once, there was a lot of like 90s toys, and it was insane. Solo. This is. I know it's gonna sound bad, but it's not. I'm gonna have to put it with Never Again. I like Solo. It was fun, but I never need to watch that movie again. I'm sorry, Alden Ridge, but like I liked the movie. It was fine, but never again. South Park the movie. I think I watched it once. It would need to rewatch. Definitely a rewatch. No offense to the Spy Kid movies. Have not seen them. No interest. Sorry. Just I have no interest. I was a teenager when these movies came out, so I never saw them because I was already beyond that age. And then now that I'm an adult, I have no want to watch these movies. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, peoples. Yes, we finally got to them. Attack the Clones. Oh my God, please, before my alarm goes off. Please, please. Okay, here we go. Come on, Aladdin. Okay, Attack of Clones is obviously the GOAT. Oh my God, so much nostalgia for that movie. The toys, the toy boxes, because they were all just blue, and they all had like a mixture of OG toys and new trilogy toys, and it was so great. Oh man, like the speeders. I don't know, everything. I love that movie, and then I love that I skipped school to go see it, and everyone else went on the field trip, and they all got stuck in the mud and covered in mud in the rain. Meanwhile, I was watching Attack of the Clones and having a great fucking time. Revenge of the Sith. I have to say fair. Because even though I don't... Oh, okay, let me finish. Let's just finish the Star Wars movies. I know there's more Star Wars. We'll finish those and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so like Revenge of the Sith, I know I don't like it. It's not my favorite. I fall asleep whenever I've tried to rewatch it. But I have to give it fair because I think one of the reasons why I find it so boring and tough to watch is because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it's tough to watch Anakin turn to the dark side. I'm going to be straight up honest. I think it's me not wanting to watch that story. I think me saying like, oh, it's boring. Oh, I fall asleep or I don't like watching it. I think it's just because I don't like watching that. I don't like seeing the hero Anakin fall to the dark side. And I think I just got to be honest. I think that's the reason why. So that's why it's fair. At one of these days, I will probably rewatch it. But I think deep down, that's why I don't like watching it. I got to be honest. I really think so. I think that's the reason why. Because, like, when I see clips of it, I like the clips and I do like the battle and I like the character thing. But like, I think it's just tough to watch because you see all the Jedi die and you just see how it all goes to shit. All right, we're just going to finish these Star Wars movies. We're not going to go to the Step Brothers because I really want to talk about these before we go, and then we could pick up from. If I ever do a part 2, we could pick up from Step Brothers. Okay, so Phantom Menace, obviously GOAT. You guys heard me talk about it, I think 2 weeks ago, where I had a great time watching it in the theater. And jokingly, quote unquote jokingly, it is my favorite movie of the year so far because I had a fucking great time watching it. It was a grand old time. Let's see. Force Awakens, even though, I already told you, it actually gets qualified in this, technically. It depends on the sequel. And the sequels are kind of because we all know my opinion. The Last Jedi burned the bridge and didn't build any new bridges. So I have to say it's kind of good, but in actuality, it kind of ruined everything because it didn't build any new bridges. And behind the scenes, the guy didn't know what he was doing with a large budget movie. Let's be honest. Um, A New Hope, aka Star Wars, the original one, obviously is the GOAT. Obviously. Oh no, it got dropped somewhere else, didn't it? Oh no. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Okay. Let's find it real quick. Let's find it real quick. Where are you at? I know you got dropped in the wrong spot. Oh no, it's lost. Oh man, I'm sure afterwards I'll find it and be like, you idiot, it's like right there. Um oh god, I'm an idiot. It dropped somewhere and I can't find it. I can't find it. Oh well. Anyway, you guys heard me. Take my word for it, it's GOAT. And then we have uh Rise of Skywalker, which I watched again just because I thought I was going to do a mashup, and I was like, this sucks ass. So Rise of Skywalker is definitely never again. Never again in the bad way. Not never again in the good way for Solo. Okay, let's look for Star Wars one more time, because maybe it's here. What the hell? Did it just disappear? That's stupid. Oh my god. It just disappeared. It's not there. I don't see it. Oh my gosh. Oh well. Oh, there it is. It got dropped in the wrong section. There we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And now we can wrap up the video. Boom. Boom. So next time we do this, if I do a part 2, we could pick up from Step Brothers. So there's that. Oh my god, there's like tons of movies here. I didn't know how far we were going to get. I for sure, because I did a practice run, but I wasn't talking. I was just like practicing. And when I practiced, I think I got as far as Kung Fu Panda. I don't think I got any further than that. So that's like a whole other episode, though, judging on the amount of movies. But yeah, there we go. That's my ultimate movie tier list episode. We'll go back to the main screen. And it looks like I'm choppy, so I apologize for that. I think it's just because I'm not using the Sony cord. I'm using a cord I bought somewhere else. Okay. Let's go to the comments. Mulan's definitely up there with peak Disney. Yes, totally. Pulp Fiction barely making the cut. It didn't make it because like my video is going to be the top 100, so it didn't. But number 101 is definitely Pulp Fiction, and that bugs me so much. It made me so sad. I was like, oh, it didn't make the cut. And I know Shane Ford was like, let's see the other 17. But like the other 17, I've forgotten by now, because not only that, but it would have changed by now, because I think Oppenheimer almost made the top. So Oppenheimer's in the 17. Ready Player One. Yeah, I got to get up here because I notice whenever I rewatch my episodes, I don't like how I'm behind this. So I got to do this. Ready Player One is cinema. I have to rewatch it. I do remember liking it, but I want to rewatch it. Rogue One is okay. Definitely not my personal favorite of the Star Wars stories. Mm-hmm. But I've been wanting to rewatch it. I've been wanting to give it another shot. I'm like President, what do you call it, from Independence Day. Let me get another shot at it. I never seen Sing One in the theaters until my uncle and Andy showed me. Ooh. Yeah. I saw that on DVD, but I do like all the scenes with the rat, the mouse, the Shane, the Seth MacFarlane. I did it my way. And I love that the father like really didn't like his son singing until he saw his son singing. Like he didn't believe in his son's dream until he saw him do it. I was like, oh my God, that's so good. It's one of my favorite things. Major lack of horror on this list. Yeah, I think this list is definitely made by somebody who's younger, because like the amount of MCU like right away on this list, and the fact that they thought of Anchorman 2 before they thought of Anchorman 1 is kind of shocking. But yeah, whoever made this specific list is definitely younger for sure, because there's not enough horror on this list, and there's not a lot of older movies. I think further down the list there's older movies, but like this is definitely somebody younger. For sure. And Never Again for Solo. How dare you, Frank? I'm hurt. I liked it, but like the movie is so dark visually, I don't want to watch it. That's the only reason why I don't want to watch it. I can't imagine what it looks like on Disney Plus, because I'm sure it looks better on my Blu-ray. But like people watching on Disney Plus, it must look awful. It must look so like dark and contrast and compressed. I can't imagine that. It must look better on my Blu-ray, so maybe I will watch it again. But like right now, I don't feel like watching because I remember how dark it was, like visually, not story-wise. But I'm sure it's better than the streaming service. He should. He's a great actor. Eldon Eldridge should be in more things. That's the comment. For those just listening. Attack of the Clones is peak of the prequel trilogy. Dude, I like those prequels more than I should. And it's a lot of for different reasons. Like, of course they're bad. It's like, again, I think I'll say it again, but this might be someone's first episode. That's why I'm just saying this again. Anthony Lantern once said, we've gotten to a point where if you're talking about a movie that's already been hammered to death, there's really no point to do that anymore. Like, there's no point to make fun of Batman and Robin anymore because we have the Nolan trilogy. We have the Batman with Robert Pattinson. We've had different Batmans. We've had Ben Affleck Batman. We can't make fun of Batman and Robin anymore as much as we used to, I should say, because there's so much more afterwards. And, you know, it just seems like who cares anymore at this point. That's how I feel about the Star Wars, because we have so much Star Wars now. It's like, who cares about the prequels not making sense or, you know, not quite lining up, but still. Say what you will about Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones has kept Star Wars alive for the last 30 years or whatever, 20 years, because of all the things they've introduced to the world, the Clone Wars, the Jedi, the Boba Fett's, everything. Everything from Attack of the Clones has kept the series alive. And almost everything that they do now is somewhat inspired by this. So say what you will about the prequels. Attack of the Clones is probably like the most influential movie ever. You know what I mean? And I'm not even like, you know, saying that to be ironic. It really is like it, like even like technology wise, it was like the first like digital movie, like one of the first digital movies. Anyway, I remember they complained to George Lucas about that, like, oh, who cares? And he's like, I don't care. It's my favorite movie. Trying to change the timeline by not watching Revenge of the Sith. Oh, dude, it's so sad. It's like, oh, it's so sad. And then should do a top 1,000 indie films next to Balanced Out. I don't think I'm an indie. Like, I think I would be embarrassed to show how bad I am with indie films. Just the other day, I saw a clip from Reality Bites, a movie that I've always wanted to see. You know, it's on my imaginary watch list. But when I watched the clip of Reality Bites, I'm like, that's the whitest fucking movie I've ever seen. It was a scene from Reality Bites where it's like Ethan Hawke paying at a gas station, and then Gene Garofalo and Winona Ryder start dancing, and Steve Zahn starts dancing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the whitest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. But at some point, I gotta watch Reality Bites. And I have no idea if that's an indie movie. I assume it is. And I'm going to check the comments. I'm probably told I'm going too long. Oh, nope. It's just a question. Okay. So that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We've gone 2 hours and probably some minutes. So I'm not going to hold you any longer. This was definitely fun. I like this. Special thanks to Mom today. She did a lot of cool things. We did, you know, things today. So just one of the special thanks to her. And the other thing is to Neil deGrasse Tyson for inspiring this episode. Hang on. Neil deGrasse Tyson. How do I work this? How do I work it? I know Phil did it once. No? I forgot what Phil did. I think it was that. Anyway, thank you, Neil deGrasse Tyson. This was fun. This is great. Hopefully, again, but next week will be probably an unboxing episode. I got some toys building up. Things have been purchased, so that'll be next week. We'll talk about stuff. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you at the movies. Ah!